Oh, what happened? Thank you for the water bottle. Welcome into Mal. Congrats on getting first. You are today's Alpha Mousey. How you doing? Y'all fighting something? What? Without me? I went to the bathroom. Oh my god, barricade shield. Night flare flail. I'm good. I just woke up from my 12:44 p.m. alarm. Miyazaki came in. Yeah, my finger swapped to AM instead of PM. Yeah, Luca, what the hell? Why didn't you send Miyazaki earlier? I could have woken up an hour earlier. Oh, it's the bird. I don't either. Oh, I forgot this isn't Rivers of Blood. He's not taking damage. He is, but he isn't. Who took that? Oh, the guy's helping us. I help anytime. Magic. Can he even bleed? Or am I just wasting my ability? Oh, I'm using the blood slash. You go back to sleep. Yes, it is like... What time is it for... It's like 8 p.m. Good night. Oh no. Oh, I got that the best axe in the game. Wait, can you not hear them? Am I talking to myself? Perfect. Yeah.
Who does that? Should we do chat or you do
We
tired
can
for
if you want. I'm ready when you are.
that? Okay, I didn't realize you also streaming.
It's okay, I just kind of
You
started
streamed
it.
earlier too.
Yeah. That one was a collab. I took like a 3-hour nap before.
Aha,
I'm actually
nice.
surprised I woke up.
Yeah, I'm also surprised.
I could have slept the whole rest of the day.
Yeah, I'm still surprised what woke you actually up.
I don't remember.
Like,
it
it
was just Miyazaki. I told you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Just spawned in my
I
dreams.
posted
it was
like
the snake, the snail.
Yeah.
Yeah, I posted the snail and then Miyazaki showed up. It was like the bad signal, you know.
I didn't even have a dream. I just woke up.
Yeah, let's do the collectibles as well. Why not?
Okay.
I'm in Golden Rune 4. Let's go. Nothing can beat me now.
Are you coming, Bingus?
Bingus, no, I'm not.
I'm sending
I'm
the link
looting
to the Bingus.
the Bing in the ass.
I think it would have
There's
been
always
easier
a
if I
Bing
stayed
in
up.
the ass, but there's never a Bing in you. So
Right.
we'll have to suffer in our own way now? Probably.
I mean, that's life, isn't it? Suffering on your own way.
Yeah.
What just happened?
Or just find someone who can take your suffering from you. That
Bingus
also
my
works.
beloved.
Bingus.
Oh yeah, I should level up. I have like 40,000 souls.
That's like one level.
I guess.
Where'd y'all
I don't
get
know.
all this money?
Yeah, it's like 1. Nearly 2.
I got the great EP.
The great DP.
The
The
great EP,
Weeping
the Kuro.
Peninsula. Oh,
You're not
oops.
using it when you mean.
We got the Kuro.
I tabbed back. I didn't even get any money.
You guys are so boring. You all use the same weapon.
Which
What?
one? What do you
all your
use?
Chuchi, like the fucking ice rapier.
Keep time, don't forget. Yes.
Wow.
Thank you for
You
stopping.
know, I'm using a
frozen
rapier.
needle.
I'm using a rapier, so I'm a rapist.
But look,
You know?
but then
I sent the link.
Why?
I sent the link
Don't say that.
in the group chat.
the link. Oh, let me see.
The link.
Oh,
The Elden Link.
the epic link. The epic link.
The Belinky.
Wait. You just sent me a.
Did I send the right thing? Where am I?
I don't think you said the right thing. You sent me
Yeah,
a channel.
I just see.
I am already here, Ginger.
Alright, here's the
Much
actual
more
link. I was
viewers.
testing you. I was testing you.
Testing.
There you go. There's the link.
The link.
Gotta link the fire in DS2.
Where
Get
did you
it.
I
post
can't
it,
wait for us playing these too. So it's so much
Yeah.
fun.
Is it this one?
The
Oh, David. Okay, now I
the
see. it.
recent one. Bingus, we're ready.
Bingus.
Wait, are you killing
the
enemies?
Bingusi.
What?
I'm not getting any money.
Hmm?
Yeah, because I'm killing stuff.
Oh, never mind.
Why
They
you-
just don't give
why
a
you
lot
red?
of money.
Yeah, they give like 60.
The fire's so bright.
You know what else is bright?
Bingus.
Not my future.
Oh. No, someone turned the lights on.
Now I'm dead.
But you died.
Yeah, it's like the big X file. Like, he has like such a weird moveset. Like when you dodge, you like roll catches you. You have
Yeah,
to
these are
delay so much.
these are the best enemies in the game.
And I also
Oh.
just woke up basically.
How
You
is
guys
this?
are doing great.
How is this big small axe faster than my katana?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
The great E EP.
What? Oh, I don't have any spells.
It's time to die, Mr. Pumpkin Man.
He's dead.
Oh, that was a huge hit.
My god, it gave me 1,000,000 souls. Smithing Stone 1. That's kind of huge.
Hell yeah.
That's amazing. You know what I never realized? That there's a chest if you go through this door to the left. Because
Yeah,
it's
it's
so
a
easy.
claymore, isn't it?
Because it's so easily missable.
Well,
Oh, it is a claymore.
oh my god,
nice.
it's the best weapon in the game.
It's
Claymore
holy,
is actually
dude.
really good.
You're just blind.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm blind.
You put the Banish Knight Great Sword is better. That's like the weird moveset, you know? Amazing.
Nah, I don't like
Sure.
that. I like that
Ginger.
moveset.
Oh, Mac. Thank you for the raid. Welcome, Raiders. I cannot hold tab.
Million leather.
Peace. Welcome in, everybody. My name is Janjo19. I go by Janjo.
Z
And I play
Makota's
a lot of
rated your
variety
channel with
games.
33 viewers.
FPS games and Souls-like games like Elden Ring. And today we're celebrating
It's
my
open
friend's
and quiet
birthday,
because You cannot really do anything.
who
with
I'm
it.
sharing the chat with.
Damn, is that enough?
I just woke up like 10 minutes ago when I started stream. And we're continuing Elden Ring because I haven't beaten it yet. But
I'm
how are
gonna
you?
go
How was
watch
Outlast
this
Trials?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yes, yes. Thank
But
you for the
welcoming
raid. Nick.
raiders.
If y'all need to
Thank
go
you.
to sleep, please feel free to do so. It's good vibing on Peak. Oh, nice. How did y'all do on Peak? Did y'all reach the peak? And were y'all doing some more escalation runs? Or
Peak. I still have to
yeah,
play the
it's a
new
new
map.
biome. I haven't
Did you
either.
played it?
No.
I heard there are zombies in the map.
Whoa. Spoilers.
Zombies. Yeah,
Oh,
spoilers.
Escalation and Trial Maker. Nice. Well, hope y'all won 1 year runs. Did y'all have any cool or hard like difficulties? Wait, I know this castle. It's where the ogres are.
The what?
The ogres.
The ogres. Oh yeah, true.
Yeah.
Where are they? Where they throwing pots ogres?
I don't know. The Jaeger be following us. Did you guys get the Jaeger that's like the permanent one? That one's always
come
fun
on.
whenever
Why me?
they get that in the escalation. I think it was with Havoc and I. We had the Jaeger, Acid in the level, and we had to be close to each other. And it was just 2 of us, so there wasn't really much we could do.
Just the two.
Wait, where's
of
y'all
us.
go? Just the 2 of us.
Fuck you.
It was tough,
Sacrificial
but
trick.
we got it.
Now kill him.
Elden's going great. I'm just usually following them around.
Yeah, Genjo is carrying with his 2 hours of sleep.
Yeah. I was supposed to wake up an hour ago, but I set my alarm up for 12:44 p.m. Not a.m. My alarm clock pranked me.
Get prompt.
Yeah, I got bronked.
Lemao.
Yeah, like I said, if you need to go to sleep, get some rest after your stream, Mac. And thank you for the raid.
Hey Toma, thank you that, but while you're already up, go eat.
I'll be eating. Okay.
Looking well.
Enjoy your food, Mac. Thank you for the lurk.
Look at this nerd. They jailed him.
Please help me. I am of
Wow.
noble blood. Do I need to do anything with him? Oh. I'm super happy streaming. Happy to be yes.
Ah.
And I'm happy you are here as well.
No.
Thank you for inviting again, Mac. What happened?
They
We
should,
come
I
really,
touched it first.
Combined.
Ah!
Ah, it worked.
they should really fix that.
What do you mean? It's perfect. It's been like that since Dark Souls 1.
Yeah, true.
Oh my god, twin blades thingy.
Yeah, it enhances your last attack of your combo.
I don't have a combo.
So you basically never do that, but still.
I don't have the blood of rivers.
The
Imagine I just fell right there.
The blood of the rivers.
Anything back here?
Yeah.
Ah,
Sunflower.
some sunflower seeds.
Amazing, that's very healthy.
Needs the pointy head for the letter, for the meme, yeah. In Bloodborne, right?
No, that was in Dark Souls 3.
No, but in
No.
Bloodborne too,
Yeah,
with the pointy head.
the pointy. I need to go
Yeah,
that way.
the letter.
I thought that's actually a real thing, but
Okay, I'm
it's
dead.
not.
Help.
Cousins, get him!
That was like
No, not the
trapped in a,
gingers.
it was trapped in a corner between like 3 reds and then one thing.
The three gingers.
No.
A good move.
Whip.
Oh, did you get the whip?
Yeah, it's time to get whipped.
Best
Whipped
weapon.
cream.
We got the bonfire.
The thing, yeah.
The bonfire.
Yeah.
Nobody calls it Grace.
Yeah.
What does that mean? Never heard of that.
What is that,
Exactly.
Grace? Grace is a female name now.
Yeah, Grace.
I
How
know
do you mean
Grace.
Grace anatomy?
No, Gracie from high school.
Yeah, that's not a German name.
Yeah.
Oh my god, throwing daggers.
Yo, look at this dude. He's about to hit me from behind him. That's cool.
Damn, that's wild.
No stagger. With 3 charged attack. Is there anything good? Is that thing good back there or no?
Nah,
There's an item, but I don't know what exactly there is. And
I don't
there's a
remember
grab.
either.
think
I
it's
just remember it's
grab
back here.
eggs.
Yo, I need that.
Yeah. Fire arrows 15. Let's go.
Yeah, give me that.
Best items. It's the best item ever.
Yeah, I'm the bowman.
Yeah,
Oh.
Hawkeye, right?
Yeah.
Hawkins.
Hawkins, I. Wait, Hawkins. That's from Outlast Trials.
Hawkins. Parried Nido.
I try, but I'm
You can parry the
bad.
storm.
I'll parry him with my shield. The crab's still attacking me. Never mind. I got a barricade shield.
Ah,
they-
there we go.
They brought the dude from Night Rain here.
Oh my god.
It is.
Whoa.
But he's not red.
Yeah, and he's
Yeah,
just
rather red
dying.
enemies.
He's just getting perma-stunned.
Poor fella.
Oh my god, the best
Legendary
great sword.
weapon.
Whoa, I got legendary.
He's really good.
You have to have it in your left hand.
That guy
for the
didn't even give it up
bonus and,
for 1 level.
for the stats.
Yeah, it's
Isn't
like,
there an item back here?
Behind the tree?
I think so.
Maybe no.
No?
Yeah, well, what's this? There's nothing.
Oh,
Yeah, totally.
I don't know.
Okay,
we got pranked.
I think we didn't do the tree guy here, right?
No, we didn't did the tree. We didn't went that way.
Where? That tree? No.
Yeah.
What am I doing?
No, I'm trapped in the infinite loading screen, I think.
Don't
Let's
do
go.
that. I forgot to level up my faith. That's what I would need to level up.
That's so sad. I have to hold it for.
Oh, we gotta wait for Needle then. Wait, where'd you teleport to?
The church, I was planning to.
Hmm.
Oh,
Yeah,
I was
think that's
asking
shor-
Iwi.
Yeah, I think that's a shorter way.
Yeah, because I thought this was like in a slope upwards. It's okay, I have fire arrows, I'm gonna start shooting him.
Anyway,
Nito from Dark Souls 1 has left us.
No.
Oh, I got the twig.
Curled finger needle.
Not curled fingered kaching?
No. We don't have any catchings here.
Who?
Who?
Look at that tree. Can I jump on here?
Good.
Oh.
Oh yeah, I have to join you guys, I forgot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that would be very nice if we could do that.
Yeah, maybe.
Aha!
Aha!
Look at that.
Haha.
It's the one leg on top of the thing.
The torrent has so much core strength. Look at that.
That's our farming.
Like imagine you doing that, just with 1 foot leaning forward.
Yeah.
You have to
Oh, you're
build
here
core
already.
strength. Yeah, of course.
I didn't even
That
see
was
you.
fast.
Didn't even see you join the thing.
Yeah, no, I'm sneaky.
Get him.
How much damage we doing?
Oh,
That's huge damage.
I'm still EP.
Can this guy bleed?
No.
No,
but
Scarlet
can
Rot.
He's a
rot.
tree.
Come on.
He's like always targeting you, and then all of a sudden he switches to me.
Oh my god, he's frozen. Elsa. Ow!
Yeah, I have freeze.
Frozen,
You guys
like
do more
Elsa.
damage.
Yeah. Why did nobody parry that? Oh, there you go. Don't unstagger him. Okay.
I staggered him because that's more fun, you know?
Yeah, that's so fun. Alright, he's dead. Well, that slash does so much damage for, like, no reason.
Yeah, it's very good for the beginning. My weapon is kind of poop, but it just applies cold.
I mean, that gives us more damage, so that's helpful.
Yeah.
We're playing a team game.
I
I
mean,
think
we
we're done
could,
with this area. No?
There's there nothing around the
Really
tree?
we could go there and get like the talisman of the health regen.
Where?
The thing I made.
The ping.
Like the blue
Oh.
thing, the blue marker.
The ping.
You just go there. Yeah.
You know, it's like the chest that transports you to the capital where you like fight
Oh,
the
that
giant.
thing.
Oh, okay.
The really
So it
strong
would
Wait,
be
how
one.
much
better
souls
if
did you
just
guys get?
teleport to the Demon Duke.
Yeah, sure, but
Well, how much
Where's
souls do
the
you
one
have
there?
now?
you mean?
36.
I have 4,000.
I have 9k.
Yeah, where's our money?
Mm.
What do you mean?
I
You get
took
mine.
it all. I took it all.
He just didn't level up yet, did he?
Nah, he just stole all
Yeah, I
our
didn't
runes.
level up.
He stole our runes, Nito.
How dare he? He took our last runes.
Well, I'm the host, so it makes sense, guys.
We're paying taxes.
Yeah, exactly.
Wait, did y'all TP? We were right
No,
here.
Brenda.
I was about to say we were right here to the tower. Alright, I think we gotta wait for everybody to stand near the chest, right?
Yeah, I'm not there yet. But yes.
Okay, I'm opening it. Wait, I thought
my
wait,
God.
who's this NPC climbing the towers?
That's me.
And he fell down.
But horse is not doing its
Can I use
work.
this? Look, I thank you for the cheese to meet you.
Oh,
Yes.
what is this? Look at this.
What's happening? down
Wow,
there?
he's cheesing me on the ladder.
You're getting cheesed.
Just cheese bag. You can like.
Thank you for the cheek rub, Nix.
Look, they're cheesing me.
Yeah, I'm just ignoring you.
How did y'all?
Thanks
How did
for
y'all
the
peak go?
distraction.
The ball. Best viewers, wow.
You died on peak. No. What? Why'd you open it?
But
Yeah, why not?
We weren't ready.
Well,
Look at
it's
him. He's
up
standing
now.
over there. Yeah, we
It's
can't
up
teleport
now.
to you.
Isn't it
Yeah.
like? I mean, I just activated the bonfire. You can teleport to me then.
We can't teleport
But-
because you activated the trap, so the teleport's disabled for us.
No,
Oh.
it's not.
Yeah, it is.
It is.
On my
And
screen.
teleport.
Nito pranks us.
can't open up the
Can't
map.
believe this. We can, but it's crossed out because you activated the trap, which triggers for everybody. Look.
If you do it, I want to see that.
No,
Yeah,
we
we're-
can't. I cannot
can't.
open the map.
Yeah, but he can't even open the map.
Yeah, but
No.
I'm saying I can open it, but then it doesn't let me.
I mean,
I
for
can.
me, it's
Wait,
it's
do you
like
see down
not
there, Yui?
crossed
Do you
out.
see him?
Like, for me, it's not crossed out. I can teleport.
Yeah, for us, you're just standing in the field over there.
Oh, now I can open it. Wait.
Yeah, but I have a cross over my thing.
Oh yeah, true. That's weird.
Divine Bridge? Oh, no, I can't teleport.
Yeah, we have the
Yeah, let's do
cross
that
over.
Been
later.
trapped.
Or do I have to kill the thing?
Well, I'm just gonna die. It usually resets after I die.
Oh,
I mean, either do that or do something else while I fight the giant.
Yeah, I mean, I'm
Then you come.
we
watching
need to
you.
reset.
No, just
Sorry,
die
I
and
didn't
respawn.
know. I didn't know.
He's not a knower, even if I told him we need to be next to the chest together.
No, I thought. I don't know. I don't know what I thought.
I'm dead. Wait, this guy summoned his horse. Are you fighting a boss? I'm gonna sit down in a bonfire.
No, I'm fighting like the yeah, just a Donna.
The
I
golem?
got like hit once as well.
Oh, actually, I can just come back at the stake.
Did Eevee die as well?
No,
Okay.
I'm at the grace.
Yeah, now I can teleport. You just have to die.
Okay, cool.
I've had this happen before. I played these games before.
I played these games before.
I've been there before.
Oh, I'm
Did
getting
you kill
shot
the
by a boss.
golem?
What?
Did you kill the golem? Can I rest?
No.
Wow.
Okay, rest now.
taking your
Dendra
sweet
was resting.
time.
Just rest. I basically restarted the golem anyway.
Where are you?
Are you resting?
No.
No?
And do it now.
Okay.
Now! I can teleport. Eevee, you need to die to be able to teleport.
Yeah, I need to die. That's lame.
Oh, the golem's sleeping again.
Yeah.
I'm here. Check out his kneecaps.
You guys are
Ow.
above me. That's so dumb. You're literally spawning above me. I see what you're doing.
What?
Yeah, look. You're like.
Oh yeah, that
fucking
happened to me
over.
for Nito. The enemies were trying to fight him.
You're live.
Oh my god, he fell off the map.
No, you did.
Good morning,
Welcome
Amina.
back.
Welcome back. Oh, nice dagger.
You dropped.
Okay, did you get his thing?
Yeah, I just hit him a little bit before he stood up again.
Alright, nice.
You know, doing the extra
Get his
damage.
feet.
Why is he not frosted?
I don't know. Me with a fire weapon. Got him. How was the Eep? Ina.
Yeah, no.
Wait, Bingus died.
Bingus died.
What? He's still invulnerable for this long?
Yeah, no, it's shit.
Miyazaki, fix that right now.
You're like too, peppered with like Night Rain.
Wait, you
Able
weren't
to
Eep?
hit enemies.
How could you not Eep? Oh, that's okay then.
Yeah. It's
Oh, he just
over.
kicked me back here.
Nice.
Oh my god, I got 50,000 runes.
Is I mean I fix so.
I did.
I hope the fix is going well.
I have like 12k in total.
Alright, let's go down and get Godfrey.
You can't.
Wait, you sent it to me? A demon?
Oh, now I can teleport to.
Okay. We could do the magic.
Oh my
castle
god, your
thing.
audio's cooked.
What are you guys thinking?
I'm good with that.
Okay, let's do.
I mean, that's a new voice thing. That's pretty
voice
good.
changer.
You got the broken radio voice changer. No, not graduation.
But you guys want?
I
The lake.
I don't know.
Yeah, like the first bonfire in the black part of the lake. Why is
Oh,
it
the
crossed
lake.
out for you again?
What?
Because I think I need to rest.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, like the
lake.
journey of the lake. So let's do the mage. The second. The lady Renala. What's her face?
Ah, come on, it's still.
What lake?
It's,
Where are we?
it's yeah. The teleportation traps are like really shit. Apparently.
Ah, come on, what do I have? Do I need to die
I think.
here?
Yeah, just jump off the elevator.
You need to die.
That's so dumb.
Just jump off. Wait, where are we?
Yippee!
Yes, hello chicken.
That thing just died, Lamar.
Chinkan.
Yeah, Amir said hi to the Chimkin.
A wiener.
Hello, I say hello back. Thank you.
A wiener.
You know, where are you?
Can I have
Shut
one
you,
teleport,
kid.
please?
Thank you for looking, Nix. What am I eating? In like 5 hours. I'll be Elden Ringing for the next 10 hours.
Isn't there a map somewhere?
Cuz.
Yeah, right next to the bonfire where you just spawned to.
Oh, right here. I missed it. Deutsch. Ja, ja, hallo, ich bin ein Schnitzel.
Just
Hallo.
we gotta
wow.
progress, that's why, Nix.
He's talking German. Can you believe that?
The German.
The German.
The German.
No, you Ginger. Do the German.
Ish. Ish.
Ishtar.
It's all ish. I found a new map and then it didn't give me the map.
What?
Wait, I cannot go without the glintstone.
Ah, you didn't pick up the key when we killed the dragon.
You
I have
go
to do
back
the
and get the
two.
key.
Of course,
Yeah,
like the
it's-
key's behind the dragon. It doesn't drop from the dragon.
Yeah, but I
Pick
thought
it
like
up.
only one needs to have it.
No, this guy
No.
doesn't have access.
Wow.
And
Wait, can you
apparently neither do I.
teleport? Actually, never mind. Let's not break the game. But to say, what if you teleport after we put the grace up?
Why do I always get like the unlimited loading screen?
What the hell? I'm lore walking.
Oh, I'm also moonwalking.
Yeah, I have to fucking close my game again. It's so ass. Why does that always happen?
They're nerfing us.
I found it. Ich meine, ich habe es gefunden.
Lore walking.
Wunderbar. Mhm.
Kaching
Yeah,
has
yeah.
left. I can't even sit on this grace. I think I need to wait for you.
Yeah, maybe you guys just, you know,
Well, I think the host had to be able to get in here. That's why we couldn't go in properly.
maybe we just redo the session, like, you know.
Yeah, let's just
Resolve the
let's
world.
just start from the beginning. Yeah.
In
the
the
beginning.
beginning.
Should I close it?
We should touch this first and then close it.
Yeah.
Touch it. You mean touch the wall?
No,
Touch the
inside
darkness
the
inside.
grace inside the wall. I'm in here already. Oh. What just happened?
Okay, I spawned at the other side. That's good.
Yeah, but why did I unspawn? Yeah, I think
I
we had to
touched it.
wait for the host to actually be able to enter. That's why you got infinite loading screen.
Probably.
Mm.
You got prunked.
Can
Yeah, I'm
I
here.
close the wall or can I just join again?
I mean, I'm here.
Okay, then I join. Yeah,
we go
by the
then?
way, we still need to go to Turtle Pope or do like the cave because I want like the sewing set.
You mean the dog pope?
Oh.
Yeah, the dog pope.
The dog poop.
What the hell?
Oh,
Oh, you have the Boo Beetle.
Yeah.
That's pretty bad.
I don't remember where I got it.
It
why
looks
is
good.
its face
Wait, it's so
ugly?
good.
No, it has like debuff.
Increases damage taken, but you get my flats back. That's so good.
I'm pretty sure you got it from like you know, in Caelid, the three towers,
Oh.
H City. It's
Oh,
like
yeah.
on the roof there somewhere. It took me forever to realize as well that you can like walk past. it.
Yeah, I also did hear that. I only
That's all good.
realized it when I was looking at the quest that is here with the
Yeah.
invading and stuff. I was just like, wait, you can actually go through that?
I mean, we can do that as well, like the invading quest. I saw the sign
Mm-hmm.
laying there.
I think the weapon is pretty good.
You don't
It's
get
not
the
bad.
weapon. Oh, do you? Do you get the
You
raptor
get-
skull?
Where, let's have,
You got
you need to touch
something
it.
else.
I mean, you
Like-
definitely get like Raptor's Mist, the weapon art.
my catboy, thank you for the
Oh,
follow.
this thing.
It's used to meet you.
Thank you, Luca, for the headband. I did drink.
Yeah, you basically scammed the person with the German. You said like 2 sentences in German and that's it.
That's how I always do it.
Perfect.
I start talking in German for like 10 seconds, and my mind instantly switches to English again.
Well, I mean,
Maybe I should
that's-
rename it instead of 2 minutes, 2 sentences.
Yeah, 1,000 for one
words.
sentence.
Ja, 10k. No, Amina, I'm sorry. Ja, ich bin ein Krankenwagen. Ich bin
Are
ein
we all in an
Krankenwagen.
infinite loading screen?
Yes.
Oh wait, no, I loaded.
Yeah.
I just had to
Oh.
complain.
Maybe it's really the host, so we all like the host has to like load in first and then
Yeah.
work.
Oh, I hit my mic. Maybe, I don't
Oh,
know.
he bonked you. I
Du
mean,
bist
you hear
eine
that?
Banan. Ich bin eine Banane. Ja, a bonk. That was my bonk back.
My God, who's that? He's leaving.
I mean, I'm,
Get him. Get
I'm more
him.
of a kiwi myself, you know.
Kiwi. Get him, guys. Gank up on him.
Du bist
Oh,
ein
I can actually
Banan.
hit you guys too.
Oh,
Wait.
Oh,
can?
okay. Does the buff hit you guys? Oh wait, yeah.
Can we hit each other?
I don't think so.
Oh yeah, well, watch this. I'm dying, you're rotting me.
You can't hit each other.
Yeah, see,
you
look.
can.
Oh, you're about to die.
Oh.
Wait, he has so much
Miss
health.
Banana.
Watch out, watch out.
Yeah.
I'm trying to slash away and just hit the one guy.
I mean, he's also healing.
I'm just gonna watch. I don't want to blade you guys.
Blade.
Nice.
Yeah, like this.
Oh.
Oh my god, wait, I got like triple the amount.
Yeah, same.
Oh, because I think there's 3 of us.
Yeah.
Perfect, we cheated.
This near music. P organ music. That's Slice of B. Sorry, the thingy doesn't actually.
Nice and peep, peep, peep.
It doesn't refresh. P organ music.
I want that guy's armor.
Does Amina even understand German, or just wants to like
Yeah.
hear the sound?
Amina is German.
Yeah, you
Oh.
didn't know?
Yeah.
No.
Swedish, German. Yeah, it's the
Another
same.
Noah, you know.
Out of nowhere, that's okay. I don't even have to sit down.
Why are you lying? I'm not lying.
Well, you
I see.
Just
So
finished
I was
talking
a
now?
knower.
Why are you always lying? I'm the German boss of my friends are. Well, that makes you almost German.
So you're
no?
basically German.
Yeah, see?
Let's
You're
go to the-
basically a German
Should we
bred.
go to like the window over there as well?
Yeah,
Where?
let's
Or
go.
it's-
There's also the Bloodhound.
Yes.
The Bloodhound.
Light Town.
But he's
I
just
love
Blighttown.
Blighttown.
like
Daxos too.
There's no Blighttown.
Shrine of
We can-
Amana. Did I
We
hear
can
Shrine
make
of
our
Amana?
own Blighttown.
Oh my god, Shrine of Mana, that's the best map in the game.
By far, it's like so good.
You're missing
need
out
to
on
know
peak,
about-
peak
I'm
map.
not a Noah, guys. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm
You
not a
need to
Noah.
know Shrine of Amana.
Evie's gonna love this one. The best
Oh, you're going to
shrine
love this one.
best thing in
Why
the
cannot
game.
talk to him?
I'm talking to him.
I'm talking to him.
I can get some thingies.
Yeah, I bought like the imp ashes and the ash war thing.
Wait, I can get some sleep build.
Look at this dude. Look at the top of his head. He fell
Hey, I heard a
down.
dog.
Wow. Look at that nerd. Get skull spammed.
Oh my god, it's this dude.
I really have to Google where to get like the upgraded version of the skull spell.
Oh my god, we got some duel.
Yeah.
Do a Mountain Dew.
I mean, you're
Yeah.
English native, Ginger, right? What does it do?
A duel?
Do
It's
it.
like a drop of, like, you know, when there's water on leaves.
Ah, true.
That's a
Now that you
duel.
mention it.
Oh, that
I know,
thing.
yeah, true.
Oh, what is the wolf
That's
doing
where
here?
Mountain Dew comes from.
True.
No.
Mountain Dew is also cold.
9146. Welcome in.
But I think like I drank Mountain Dew once in my entire life and it wasn't very
I
good.
never had it.
I mean, it also depends on where you get it.
I mean, I got it in Germany, so it's probably not the chemical enhanced version
Yeah.
that you got in America.
Yeah, it doesn't taste that great, you know.
It's not the same.
I mean, you guys even have the radioactive Fanta, you know?
Exactly. You need to have the radioactive. You don't got the special ingredients.
Wait, are you saying you don't take medicine so that you don't poop constantly? Where did Ginger went?
Oh my
Wait, did Ginger
goodness.
left?
What?
I think I crashed.
Ginger.
I think he went to sleep again.
I'm
Ginger,
sleeping.
wait.
This is the AI
Wait.
talking.
Let's like leave Ginger kicking out of his party and take this. Whatever is that? What is that? Like a planet spinny thing?
That's
He's
that's
not-
for you.
he's busy.
This is the
It's
planet.
all,
You gotta study it. You're the magic man.
I mean, I just have a stick. You know, I use it to like bonk people.
It's gonna turn PvP on. All right, Mina, get in here.
America Fanta. America, yeah.
I'm
Hello,
strength.
hello, hello.
Strength. Yeah, I'm also strength build with my. Here we go. I'm ready.
Oh my god, Magic is amazing.
Magic.
Magic.
Wait, did you open the door?
Yeah, you can, but you can also slap those nerds.
Oh, look at this. I'm strength build. Can't handle it.
I will do the heavy lifting.
I mean, if you're good enough, you can also do the trick jump and jump over there.
Yeah, I just did a
Guys,
trick
did you
jump. Let's go.
knew? Did you knew there's a wall here?
Did I knew? I am not a newer.
Did he know? Did he know?
Did he know? Is he a Noah?
Probably not. I don't
hate
use
the room
Runark.
with the puppets.
Oh, these are
Very
the best enemies in the game. Almost on par with the enemies in Shrine of Amana.
First berserker. Oh, thank you, Jeff. I completely forgot to change the game. Thank you.
Can't wait for Eevee. Right over
Shrine
mana.
of Amana. That's the
Guys,
best.
I will never play that game.
You will. We're
Eevee's Shrine
playing
of
it.
Amana
Never
arc
Dark
is
Souls
gonna be
2.
epic. His arc, Shrine
Yeah.
of Amana arc.
You
Never
spawn
be
in
Dark
Strike of
Souls
Amon.
2.
You know. You just spawn there. That's your starting point.
And the boss at Shrine of Amana at the end is peak as well.
It's so good.
Nobody will play that.
The best boss in the best map. Yeah, but Em said she was joining us.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I already bought the game for her.
Also.
Did you?
I mean, I have both versions. I have normal Dark Souls 2 and I have Skull of the First Sin, so you can like do
I
whatever.
think
you
I
want.
only the Skull of the First Sin.
I don't even know if you can still buy two, like just.
Yeah, I
two
think it's just
versions.
Scholar now, because nobody would just
Yeah,
buy the
well,
Thank
base
you,
game.
Jeff.
Like back in the time when I first played Dark Souls 2, I like. There were like both versions, and I was confused which one was like the right ones. I just bought both.
Okay,
That's
Boomer.
pretty good.
Yeah, I didn't really play much of normal Dark Souls 2, but Dark Souls 2 Scholar, I 100%ed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I didn't know the difference between Dark Souls 1 and Dark Souls 2, so I bought 1 and 2 and then gave 1 to my friend, because I wanted to co-op with her. They're two different games.
I mean,
Really,
I also
Yeah.
have like Dark Souls 1 Remastered and the Prepare to Die edition.
I was above.
Ooh.
Yeah, the
But I think you
Prepare to
got remastered if you had the Prepare to Die already. Right? You
Die- I
got it
don't
for
remember,
free.
maybe.
Yeah, Dark Souls
But
2
like, if you
Prepare
have- if
for
you have
Shrine
a-
of
if
Amana
you have
edition.
a-
That's a good one.
Oh hell yeah!
It's the best
But if you
edition, I
have
think.
like the Prepare to Die edition and like a Steam key, that's like worth $200 or even more.
Oh my god.
Oh.
I can sell my account now.
Yeah, I can sell my account with 1,000 games for $200.
There should be
Let's
a
go.
on here, right?
Is there an item back here? I mean, there's just the lily
This
pads.
is like a beetle, yeah. Cool. Hello, beetle.
What?
The Beetle.
I froze in midair.
Oh, Spectral
Spectral
Lance.
Lance.
That's
Great for you. You're a magic man.
But no.
I know.
Oh my god, mushroom, let's
Prompt.
go. That's
I just
amazing.
have the magic stick for the drip, you know, I never use it.
These guys want to hug me. Get off me.
Yeah,
Because, like-
Nido is using a different type of stick.
Yeah, look. Like,
Yeah.
the Ginger, look at the fashion sense that I have. The stick has like a purple, like jewel, right?
Oh,
And my eyes are also purple, so it matches, you know.
I can't see your eyes. Oh, I can see it now. That's pretty good. Yeah, my eyes are also purple. You can see through the mask.
Wait, let me see. You know, I can't see through the mask.
It's okay.
It's like black. I mean, what are you talking about? You didn't do any character customization. You have like the face.
I only did the eyes. What do you mean? That's the only thing I changed.
Yeah, let's beat up an old man in underwear. And I don't mean myself.
Bingus is AFK.
Yeah, he does that sometimes.
Oh my god, it's the thing from Night Rain.
From Night Rain.
The
It's all the old
Everjail.
man in
Ever
underwear.
Jail boss.
Oh,
Where's his
keep
brother?
him. I don't know. He lost them.
Gravity Bell. Hell yeah.
What the hell?
Somber smithing +3.
Let's
Nice.
Now we gotta go down.
Do we go down?
Well, where are we trying to
Why not
go? We can go up.
Yeah, but do we go down? There's just the maiden
Wow.
down there.
Well, I
You
thought we
waited
can
for
get,
me.
we can teleport with the thingy if he grabs you.
Yeah, but then we're in Vulcano Manor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do we want to
So
go
where,
there
where are we
already?
trying to go?
Isn't
That's
it
what I'm asking.
really?
It's not too early, but there's like nothing there. You just like
There's
fight
fire.
the virgins and get like the stupid spear.
Yeah. I don't need it, but
Wow.
I mean, down there is also like the talisman, like the cat one that you like, don't get full damage anymore.
cat.
Meow.
Yeah, okay.
Perfect.
I see. But how does that work? Does Eevee needs to be cat caught, or do we all need to be caught?
I think
to
we
get
all need to
teleported?
be taken by the dude, like one at a time.
But the worst part is like you have to die as well to him.
No, you don't.
You have
That's
to kind of
fine.
fight it.
Just
Where's he?
become low health.
Where are you guys?
We're going
we
down
wanna go
under.
down.
Oh yeah. Okay.
I'm waiting for you. There you go.
Is it all the way to the ground?
Meow.
I mean, you can jump off before, but I think you don't die if you don't.
I always jumped off.
Yeah,
Earlier.
same. Even though it's like a really far jump, like you can barely make it if I remember correctly.
I'll just slide down. Alright, where this dude at?
Meow.
There he
No,
is.
you cockblocked me. I died.
No, what happened?
Yeah, because I jumped into Eevee and he cockblocked me and I fell off.
Damn. You didn't have my HP, I needed diamond. Grab me again. Come on, get me. I'm half HP.
You know, when you did that, Eevee, there was like this window popping up, like.
There was what?
This window is popping was up on your screen. You just gotta remember that.
Nice,
grab
that
me?
was not my fault. What item is here?
kill
Oh
her.
no, I
Fight her, right?
died.
Oh no, what do we
Oh,
do now?
no. Be...
Oh, it's
Wait,
just
where the fuck-
ashes.
I'm frozen. What? Hello? Hello?
I guess.
Yeah, I guess Bingo needs to be caught first, probably.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm here in the manor.
I survived with like 1 HP. What is this? There we go.
I'm gonna wait for y'all here.
Did you all grab the talisman as well?
There's a
Yeah.
talisman?
Oh, that's the cat one. That's why we said meow. Remember?
Bruh.
He's not
My
a rememberer.
cat. No.
Oh.
Hold on, I'm gonna go crazy. Wait, if I stand down here and you guys pull the bridge up, am I gonna go up top?
Guys, what are you doing there? That's very sus.
What do you mean? What is sus about this?
We're waiting for you.
Yeah, join.
Where have you been?
I tried.
I
but
don't,
it's, like,
I don't think you
pretty
can
hard.
fit.
Wow.
Try
I'm
to
getting
squeeze in.
pushed.
Wait, let me. No, guys.
Oh, it's too late.
I wasn't
It's too
finished
late.
yet.
You were finished.
Yeah, we finished.
You have to. You have to trust in the process.
Alright, we go down here, right?
No. That seems like death.
Nah,
But you can
trust,
make it, but
trust,
it's you die sometimes to
Trust.
that.
trust.
You know, that's how you actually enter the mana without, you know.
Yeah, I got this. See, look, I'm slowly sliding off. Perfect. I made it.
I can-
See?
Wait,
Alright,
we
where do I
actually
go?
did it.
I told
You
you.
can make it, but you can die too.
But that's, yeah, but it's not Genjo.
Where are we going, guys?
That's
I'm
not,
over here.
that's not how you're supposed to play. That's the
What?
wrong way to play this game.
What do you mean?
Miyazaki didn't intend that.
Miyazaki
He
didn't
intended it.
like
He
this
woke me up
vision.
for this specific reason to fall down here. It's like Genjo, you have to do the shortcut
It's fine,
skip.
we can just teleport together when we find a bonfire.
I'm gonna die.
Nice.
Not allowed.
The slugs are protecting the item.
Damn, you have fence here.
look at the ground. Is that like also super white for you?
That's come, yeah.
I mean, you said
Oh.
that.
Alright,
That's
super jump.
Kingdom Come Deliverance.
Wah!
Haha.
Come,
Alright,
and they came. All of
I
them.
did the shortcut. I
Even
opened
the
door.
dragon.
Even the dragons.
Is it from Skyrim or
I
the
don't
other
know.
game?
Like, I think Oblivion, but I'm not sure.
Oblivion,
like some
yeah,
of those.
I think it's Oblivion. Even the
I-
dragon.
I touched the grace.
I love that meme.
I can't teleport to you guys.
But
It's crossed out for me.
you just die.
But items.
Yeah, true.
Oh,
I mean, we can
Oh.
just kill the boss. You don't need to be here, do you?
I didn't actually wanted to go here, but whatever.
Why else?
Yeah,
would you
I
want to?
didn't either. I'm just chilling.
I saw an item.
We might just, there's nothing else here. What? Going in
Hey,
circles.
Jeff. Been a while. How you doing?
Has been.
I didn't see you.
He said that like 20 minutes ago.
I know.
Bears. Bears
Yo,
woke up.
Bazzer! He's like a cat.
How
He
doing,
says
Baz?
meow.
Meow. How doing, Bears? Did you get enough rest?
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's from Night
Good
Rain.
morning.
It's the castle boss.
I don't even know where you guys are. I'm just opening doors over here.
Yeah, it's fine.
How you
Look at that
feeling? I'm
little
okay.
snake. Beast
Oh.
Blood. I'm playing
They got
Bloodborne.
me. You're on your own.
What?
You got this.
What do you mean?
Look at him.
This guy's pranking me. What are you doing?
I hate when he does the spinning thing. What? Why is there cage?
Get caged on?
Yeah.
Oh, you guys do this. Never mind.
Can you like stop spinning?
Lamar.
It's time to spin.
Guys. Where's
Oh.
Genji when you need him?
I don't know.
Map didn't load it for me.
I,
I have no
It's
textures.
I don't know where I'm going. I'm just running.
You just search for a bonfire and sit down.
I did. That was like 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, do it again.
You guys haven't unlocked this area yet. I'm like running in 2 frames per
Yeah,
second
we-
for
we
you.
didn't- We don't have the DLC.
It's actually a nice perspective to look. Oh, I
Aren't you like after the Goskin novel?
yeah.
No, that's before.
I have to touch the bridge over there. Goodbye.
Oh yeah, Goskin novel's over there.
Oh. Genjo died.
Bingus has died.
We lost Genjo.
I mean, I only had like 700 souls.
When do you sleep so long, Baz? What is this?
Why didn't he?
Yeah, he slept until like nearly 9 a.m. So late.
Damn, I wish. Miyazaki didn't let me.
Miyazaki. Who is Mia and why is she Saki?
Excellent
That will
question.
not kill me, will it?
I'm teleporting to you guys.
What?
I'm here.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, there's nothing here.
Wait, where'd y'all go?
Yeah.
But I thought there was
What do you
something there.
mean? Where
Oh.
did we go? Oh, you haven't been there, Dendra?
No, I have. I was looking
Oh,
at
okay.
UE stream, and then all of a sudden you guys were going on my screen.
I see. Now that makes sense. True. I forgot that you don't play like the home game yet.
No, I played this map.
You fought the virgins?
Yeah.
Okay.
Did I go the wrong way? I did.
You just dropped down a hole. It's like there's like only
Yeah.
one way.
Oh.
Just follow.
Well, I thought there was like items over there where Bingus was going.
It was a Smithing
Is it-
Stone 6.
I don't need that. Actually, I might
Okay,
need
but
that.
now we got them.
Yeah. I'm here, and I got the best item in the game.
The mushroom.
Spoilers. I don't have EP for this item, never mind. I'm getting railed up. Go!
It doesn't do It doesn't do anything.
No, I'm probably gonna die. He's doing the spinning
And I'm
attack.
also dead.
No,
just happened?
Bingus! Are you always getting grabbed by that?
I got spinned to death by the.
Oh my
pizza
god, it's the
cutter.
best spin in the game.
Oh, come on, dude. Oh, pizza cutter would also be a cool weapon.
Come on, Crystalline, do
If I
something.
don't have the stats for that right now. Oh, come on, dude.
Oh, he staggered him.
Oh no.
Let's go. You
Why is
have
he not taking
summon? I
damage?
don't even see him.
Wait, you summoned somebody? That's crazy.
Oh no, I
No.
don't see anyone.
There's no summon.
Thank God.
There's just... I'm just destroying him with my mind. There we go. I did not know this song was from Persona.
Who is Persona? Is it John Persona?
Yeah.
Oh, I know them.
This one's almost dead.
Yeah. Good job, Ginger.
Ow. Oh, he moved back. Are you kidding me? Alright, he's dead. How are you bonking that? Oh, he's spinning!
Bonkai.
Ow.
Oh, he hit you.
Yeah, I was...
I'm out of
Oh, that's
magic.
outrageous.
Lemao no mana.
Alright, he's dead. Yo, that's huge damage. Nice. We got the
Nice, we got the
Garundable.
candlestick.
10k.
Let's go.
Now hit the grace, please.
You say pass the grace? Got it.
Yeah, let's just run past it.
Yeah.
Wow.
What's out here?
What is that on the ground?
I see something shiny over there. The abductor
Silas,
virgin.
how you doing?
You
Good morning,
silence.
Silas. Friends Budaman.
Good morning. Mount Gelmerger.
Oui, oui.
But why is
Croissant.
why is
On.
he- but why is he French if he's Irish? But
Because you don't question these things.
okay.
What's up here? Altus Plateau.
Yeah.
How does those letters make toe?
Just woke up, nice. You get
Good
good
morning.
rest.
Are we supposed to go down there?
Okay. So let's finish the lake now.
Which lake?
Like the schoolhouse classroom.
Oh, Renala?
Dead Lake.
Yep.
Oh, look at that tree.
Church of Cuckoo.
Oh.
Caca. Oh,
Whoa, you're cheating.
Who would have thought?
Not me.
oh. Follow, guys. There's
Oh
an
my
amazing
god,
item
why'd you
ahead.
jump off the map?
I know.
The most amazing item ever. to
The
be discovered.
lilies.
Oh, it's up there.
Yeah, it's parkour, you know. Careful gap.
Peter parkour.
We can go back down?
Oh my god, let's go.
Yeah, it's like the stone mask thingy. The epic. Come on, it was a perfect parry.
How do you think though? I'm okay.
Backstab. Oh! My backstab got cancelled.
Yeah, I stole it. Stole it.
How could you? Ping difference?
I mean, I did the parry, like... How could you?
Yeah, you parry him and then I stab him in the back.
A backstabber, that's what I'm hearing.
Yeah. Imagine stabbing in the front.
That's rude.
No, Alexander. I'm doing...
Hey, what are you doing here, buddy?
Oh, he stomped me.
No,
Oh my god, I
Alexander.
got him. Let the sorceress machete me. He just jumped past my attack. That's cool. You got iframes?
I got sorcerer's leggings. How do they look?
Legends.
Look at that.
I barely know Lego. Think about it. Hydrate best.
I'm like cosplaying as a mummy if I continue like that.
Oh my god, I got a pot.
Nice.
I'm gonna
Hot
craft
pot?
something. I'm gonna craft the...
Actually,
I want a hot pot.
you
I
ever
can't
ate
craft it.
Hotbot?
No.
Yeah?
It's like, actually, like, I think a little bit underrating. Like, everybody hypes Hotpots, but it's like, alright, you know?
Yeah. Well, it depends on the location where you get it from.
I don't know, I got it in Korea, and
Oh.
but
I
like
don't
that divided hot... My game, okay. It was like
The
this
two
divided
different-
Hotpot, you know? Yeah, with one
Ooh.
the spicy and with the normal broth thingy.
Where this
Maybe you
guy
didn't
came
get the good
from?
one.
I mean, it was good, but it was like, you know, you have to wait the whole time until your meat is cooked, and
Yeah,
then
then you
cheese
have
and
to
stuff
cook
like
your own
that.
meat. Just cook at home.
Yeah, and I mean,
What?
I mean,
You
I think
cook
the
your
main,
own meat?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
You just have like a
Why
hot
would
They
pot
you-
in the
serve you
middle
your
and
own
throw
meat.
your own stuff in there.
And then you
Your own
cook your own meat. Yeah.
Guys,
That's wild.
guys,
Yeah.
secret wall.
There's no
Oh,
secret
is there
wall here.
actually...
Yeah.
Where? There's a
Wow.
ladder here, look.
Yeah,
Oh my
there's
God,
comment
that-
and stuff, you know, there's like a bunch of cool mage stuff for me.
Oh
I
my
was never
god,
here.
that's so good for me.
I never knew.
Yeah, I
There's
need
also like the
comment.
talisman that improves with your sorceries over there.
Oh, I need that. I need that
Got freeze
for
icon.
my rotten breath.
Oh, it's on the
Oh.
other side.
Like just a normal one.
Why did you drop down there?
To
Oh, you have to
practice.
drop down there?
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
the
it's
secret
only
wall in the
possible
back.
See?
How do
That way.
people discover that?
What do you mean? It's so
that
obvious.
way, that way.
I'm just kidding. Get
There's
pranked.
no
Get
wall. He lied
pranked.
to us. He lied to us.
Yeah, because I already opened up the wall, and you guys, like I said, secret wall, and I already opened it up.
Oh my god, Alexander.
I mean, you find it out because there's this door, and you never open it.
My
if you
god,
don't do
baby
it.
Alexanders.
And you see it from the other side, you know?
Okay, sorry, better be friends
Yeah.
though. I miss Canada.
Yeah, you can cook your own meat with your
Hey baby
friends.
bunny, how you doing?
That's so good.
Happy birthday, thank you. Hope you're doing well.
You gamers.
I mean, it's the same in Korean barbecue.
Barbecue. Barb.
Yeah,
Barb.
barbecue.
Korean barb.
Yeah, I mean, my main problem with like hotpot is because I'm a rookie with hotpot, so I don't know what to combine with what, you know, what meat fits. with
So you
what
just
veggies.
combine random mixes with...
Yeah, exactly. I just look at what looks good and what I usually like, and then I basically only eat meat and some mushrooms.
Yeah, but then that might not be a good mix with the pot. So then
Oh
you
yeah,
might not
hit
get the
me.
Yeah,
experience.
it's like a buffet. You can grab everything you want.
Yeah. Wait, it's the dude from Night Rain.
It's kind of expensive, you know.
It's the red
That's
Radagon
true.
dog.
Whereas do like some other stuff. I'd rather get like a kimchi jjigae or something.
Does
like
he
that.
bleed? Come here.
Yeah, of course. He's a dog.
Oh, I'm dead.
Nice.
I got memory stone.
Thank you for the follows. Is it Serviching? Serviching?
So
I'm sorry
wishing.
if I mispronounced.
Okay, I need faith.
You have faith in us. That's enough.
Yes. Wait, it's the ball.
I'm
You guys know
already
this
need a
one?
discipline. I know
This one
this
you-
one, yeah.
Okay, good.
That's where I get the Godfrey's icon, right?
Oh, that's where you get Radagon's icon.
Yeah, Godfrey.
Yeah. Godfrey's
Godfrey's
icon.
icon you get when you fight like the Everjail Godrig.
Everjail.
Yeah, there's like an Everjail and there's another Godrig in there, but he doesn't
We have a
have
Stone
name,
King?
like
I mean, I
Roy or
knew
whatever.
that. I knew that. I just wanted to test you if you know
We're just
about
testing
it.
your knowledge.
Yeah. Haha, pranked.
Get
Got pranked.
You can't test me.
Get
Miyazaki
knowledge
came
pranked.
to me and
He
like,
came
put
to
all
you?
the knowledge
Yeah.
into my brain.
Well,
yeah.
I can test you. I will just zoom into female character NPCs in Souls games, the feed, and you will have to tell me which one it is.
That's so easy.
You have memorized them all.
What are the best Souls born feat ever? There's only one right answer.
Yeah, the Dark Souls 2.
No. Close, but no. It's the
Frida?
It's the,
Sister
no.
Frida.
Yeah, oh, she's also very good, but it's the Black Maiden from Demon Souls because her feet are also dirty.
What?
But
Yeah, they're black on the bottom. They're like dirty.
wow.
Alexander,
So
get out of
it's
here. I don't
more
want to hurt you.
exquisite, right? That's what you're trying to
Yeah,
say.
exactly. They're marinated.
That's pretty good.
Hey, that's pretty good.
Oh,
I'm in Golden Rune, let's go.
oh my god, you got a wet blade.
Sorcerer's Wrath.
How did I miss this guy but killed the guy in the back?
Ooh. I'm now an aristocrat. Look at that.
Oh. You're now Chris Rat.
Yeah, no dripping. And if you get his pants, your PP gets bigger. I think that's the one.
What?
It has like one pants. I think it's like the Crystal
With a huge
shoes or
bulge?
pants, whatever. Yeah, your bulge gets a little bit bigger. If you
Damn.
wear
That's
those.
huge.
It's like in real life. The
Exactly.
padded underwear for males.
Just a bingus.
I don't know. Oh, he went through a virgin.
I'm going to kill the crab.
Crab. I mean, there's an golden seed over there, so I'm gonna go there anyway.
Mhm.
And there should be a crab with like another crown, you know, crystal crab.
Isn't
He
there
killed-
one here too?
he killed
Oh, it
them,
was the
yeah.
other side.
He's spinning.
No, don't do the Beyblade. Don't let it rip.
Lamau.
Beyblade, Beyblade.
I
Oh.
miss Beyblade.
Oh my god, Mr. Krabs.
So good.
Oh, Mr.
Bingus,
Krabs killed me.
Mr. Krabs. Oh, he's so strong, he's gonna kill me.
Krabs.
Money.
He was the the greed consume team.
Wait, this little dude can do spells?
Yeah. So he's like
Oh,
a
this
magic.
There you
I just like can respawn.
Okay,
I do
let's
like
get to-
Kazan. It was really good. That game
Crabex.
is so much fun. It's so freaking hard. Because crew was like, play it on the hardest difficulty, it will be fun.
Yeah.
I like Korra. He's very
But
smart.
it's actually really good. I got crab eggs, guys. We can have our own crabs
Oh
now.
my god, there's a crystal. What?
Thank you
It's
so
Crystal
much for the
Crab.
follow, Shadow.
Yeah.
He's.
Mr. Krabs.
Oh.
Do
I
you
got
feel
it.
it now, Mr. Krabs?
Where'd Nito go?
I don't know, back to the main entrance.
Oh,
Where did Bingus go?
he's.
I'm here.
Oh, there. Okay.
There was nothing else there, right?
Yeah, I mean, you guys wanna like go directly to the boss or do the rest of the castle first?
I'm good with whatever.
Go. Let's do the rest of them. Keep the best for last. Evie, you know where to
That's
go?
for last.
Yeah.
Okay.
You went up the bridge now.
No. That's what we've been discussing. We went through the tiny door. Shortcut door that's not really a shortcut.
Oh, that.
Yeah.
Are you kidding?
So we like this one, yeah, exactly. Because we do the rest first.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's like a best crossbow in the entire game. If we're gonna follow this.
Crossbow.
Yeah, crossbow is like best weapon class.
Yeah.
Ow, 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 ow. Why is it me? Why is it
Wow.
hitting me? I'm innocent.
What, he damaged me when he was falling down?
I mean, is there an item there, big there?
I think there is.
Yeah. But it was trash, isn't it?
Yeah,
No, it's good.
it's amazing. It's the best item ever.
See, you get 800 souls. Guys, there's an enemy chasing you. You gotta look out.
Lemao.
There's a mage coming.
Funny.
We were naming today.
You started 10 hours ago.
Genjo most overslept.
What do you mean almost? He overslept. He like almost overslept.
I
more.
almost did. But Miyazaki.
We started 1 hour,
Oh.
1 hour, almost 1 hour later.
Yeah.
So 8 a.m.
I mean, the original time we said.
Yeah.
That's what my
Yeah.
body remembered. That's why I woke up.
Yeah, so it's actually Nido's fault for being like, let's do it actually on 7 a.m. instead of 8.
Yeah, my body remembered to wake up before 2, not before 1. Meteor Bolt.
So guys, I will show you a trick.
Don't jump too
Oh,
far.
Lemao.
I
Okay,
lagged.
Stay here. Stay here. Don't jump further down.
You say jump down? Okay.
Stop.
Secret wall.
Did you do it? No, you did. Yeah, if you jump like super precisely, you can jump all the way over there, and I think that's an official path. Because there's no other way to reach that. otherwise.
Alright, I got
I
this.
got it. Oh my god, Smokestone 4, let's go.
That was
This
so
is
close.
too easy. I had so much room. Oh, what the? I thought that was. I thought that was. You
Yeah, I'm a gargoyle now.
became smaller.
I'm gargoyle these
Garg-
nuts.
Gargoyling
Got 'em.
these nuts.
I'm about to fall off the map because I missed through. I went through him.
Nice.
Where'd that guy go? Oh,
He's freaking out. He's freaking
And he
out,
dies
oh my
when
god.
he has 1 HP left.
He decided when he gets to go, you know.
That's the best design Miyazaki made.
Good luck.
Miyazaki did it again.
I can't believe it. Oh, that's so good. Look at that. That was so good. He needs to make another enemy, but like bigger.
again?
Yeah, he needs to make a bigger enemy of this.
Yes.
And when
5
he
of
hits
them
you,
in
he just
one-
permanently
in one
staggers you the whole
room.
time. I think that's a great idea.
5 of them in one room, please.
I think that's gonna be in the Night Rain DLC. There's just gonna be those guys, but bigger. That would
That's
be
going to be
amazing.
the end boss.
It's just
Just
one
the
of them.
Night Lord. The Day Lord.
Yeah. Not that 2-minute ladder again.
Bass gargoyle these nuts. So funny. The best
This is-
crossbow.
This is a funny man.
Yeah. The full moon crossbow.
That's my favorite weapon in Night Rain.
I mean, it was pretty good.
No, it's so bad.
It's so good. What you mean?
But if you like reload it, it spins like funny. Wait, let me show you.
Yeah.
Let me demonstrate.
Maybe you're using it in the wrong class. You need to be rated
Maybe
for
I
it.
never reloaded. Maybe that's why.
See? You see that thing? I never reload.
Oh, look at that spin.
Oh my god, look at that. It's amazing.
Spin. Very cool.
They 50 damage.
Miyazaki did it again.
He did it again. I can't believe it. Just oh, where's my weapons?
And now we get like the stone that Evie already got.
Oh, wow. I
Imagine
got ahead
getting
of
the
you.
stone already.
Ahead
We could
of
also
you.
go over there and then to the right side.
All right, let's get it.
I think there's like another.
Let's get it.
Let's do
Let's
it.
get it.
Leroy.
All right, let's get it.
Yeah,
Let's
I'm not
get it.
jumping. Like, we have to like, don't jump at the same time.
Yeah, I'm waiting for you guys to
Leroy.
jump.
I will block you
you-
guys. I will block you.
You blocked me.
Oh. Wait.
Oh, I did it.
I can't believe you blocked me.
No,
Did you even
the
jump?
fight.
You blocked me. What you mean?
Wait, I didn't even saw you. You were not even visible on my stream.
Yeah,
Yeah,
of
it was-
course. Well, not even visible.
Not even visible. I can't believe I got pranked.
Like game fall.
It's okay. All the enemies are dead, besides this crab walking around.
Wow, Eve's not even waiting.
No,
Wow.
I never wait. I'm busy man.
This isn't Elden Wait. It's Elden Ring.
It's Elden Go.
Elden Goat.
It's time to go. Where's Libra? The library, man.
There's Lepra.
Lepra.
You guys can go clear the area. Ahead.
Guys, I can see
Nah.
the sun again. Ow,
I'm
I'm being
waiting for you.
harassed.
Deserved.
Wow.
You be deserved.
Yes.
I didn't even get my runes. That's fine. I don't need it. Alright, where are we flying?
Yeah, I
Very
need a
choppy
second. Then I'm
voice.
gonna join up later. You guys.
I'm
go ahead.
dying. Yeah, you guys go ahead. I'll join you later.
Yeah, you guys
give me
go
a
ahead. I will join you later.
Second. Give me just 1 second.
Oh my god, crap. Can this be crap?
Is
Is this
it
crown?
possible?
Oh my god, I got a crown.
Yeah.
A crown for a king.
Thank you. Very good. Oh. Late night.
Breaking Bad crap. That's wild.
Jesse,
Wilder.
we need to cook.
Jesse.
I know, I watched it.
What?
Yeah.
I didn't either.
Yeah, it's alright.
Did Crab have a... Oh, he's still alive now. I see another crab. Did we just go down to climb back up?
Yeah, and then you go here. and grab
Miyazaki
these
did it
items.
again.
Miyazaki.
He's the ladder man. It's alright, I'm back.
Genjo.
Yeah, I was seeing if there was an item back there.
Yeah.
Oh! This one's got COVID. Where we go?
That happens.
There was an item, but I forgot which one it was.
You're pushing me!
You're pushing me.
You're pushing me! Over here. Yeah,
Where you guys
surrounded.
going?
It's just a smithing stone 3.
Oh.
I wasn't even moving and you were pushing me, that's why I was confused.
Yeah, you were. I was also not really moving.
You got like the magical stone sword key?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where are you guys?
We got it. We're downstairs.
Oh boy.
Oh my god, it's the best enemies in the game. Oh, he's spinning.
Why do
Oh.
so much damage?
That's what I'm saying. What the hell?
That's like good, because normally you need like all 3 of those immune keys, but now we have already 3.
Perfect.
No,
But I don't think it deletes if you want to use it, right?
I don't know.
Probably not.
Easy going.
Another one.
Oh my god,
And another
Glintstone
one.
key.
And another one. You have coffee, give coffee.
I need coffee. I need to order coffee.
No,
All the
drink-
stores are
drink
closed.
He's better.
Oh, the crab slapped me.
Still alive. Oh, it's the
Oh,
best
they got
one.
the twin hat.
Does it give 2 heads now?
Yeah, now I can
Yes.
see in both directions.
Oh,
Please get staggered. What the hell's happening? Oh my god, it's him.
it's Paige.
He's the...
It-
It's the boss.
It's the real boss.
The boss.
I just dodged that.
The hell are you guys?
We're
I mean, I know
fighting
they
the
are,
boss.
but don't fight away. Am I blind?
Dead. We're around the corner to the
There it is.
right.
Yeah, that's like the cool magic stick.
Yeah, it's the best staff in the game.
So many times in my playthrough, this one. Really best. I mean,
Yeah, like about the first time I played it, you also whooped the ass with me. They whooped the
Yeah.
floor with me.
Shattering Crystal, oh my god, that's
Oh,
the
that's
best
the
spell
best
in
one.
Night Rain.
Wow, you jumped down without doing the ladder.
Because
we
you
don't need
guys
the
would do
ladder.
it. I always do the ladder, you know.
I'm gonna sit down, guys.
Yeah, I also want to sit down. I have brought... I can't sit down. I am Freddy.
Freddy Krueger.
Oh, we missed like the magic armor, didn't we?
Magic
I
armor.
don't know. What armor? Where?
Where the hell is it again? I forgot.
Do we need it?
Oh,
I mean, it's cool. It's like Mongrin's armor, you know? Yeah, it's over there.
oh, we don't know.
You
where
coming?
we
I'm outside.
are. Alright, we follow you. We're right
Then we can
behind you.
teleport
We
away.
got a Congo line.
Yes.
Why'd you stop running?
Because I'm out of stamina.
Oh,
He's cautious.
I think it should be over here. Yep.
they're praying to the armor.
Yeah. It's pretty good.
Oh, it's the best armor in the game.
I told you. That's why I wanted to get it.
There's an enemy. Golden room.
No! He's sucking me
happened?
dry.
Yo.
Then live on stream. That's wild.
That's why he
No,
doesn't stream
guys, where are
anymore.
you? I need
He's
help.
not. That's why he doesn't stream anymore. He's getting sucked over here.
No!
I don't want to be
Oh,
sucked.
now
I'm
he's sucking
leaving.
me.
Oh, I'm leaving. I'm leaving.
Run!
I don't want to be sucked on. I'm going over here. Where are we going?
Suck on.
Suck on. Like,
Suck on. Suck on.
I love suck on. Wow, he just left us.
Yeah, I barely made it.
Is there a bonfire where you're going?
Yeah.
Alright, I'll get the cat ring.
Ginger disappeared.
Yeah, I left.
He's a different man now.
Yeah, I'm teleporting to the bad parlor.
Should we debate that?
unknown has wrapped to the main Paula.
Oh, you're gliding.
Yeah, it's fine.
He can fly.
How do you do that?
I have like that shoes with the rolls in them, you know.
The what?
They are like shoes where there's like one
Oh, the
roll in
shoes.
them, you know.
Oh, that thing. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sliding. You know, that was really cool back in the 2000s. I was hit by a ball.
That's pretty good.
They're balling, you know.
Boom.
Pretty balls. They have huge balls. From the magic years.
Where are you guys? Which bonfire did you guys do?
Debate
debate
parlor.
The bait parlor.
Oh,
Mongrim. My nemesis.
Nemesis.
You're gonna edge walk. I get parried. Well, loser.
Lemo.
Usually he parries you, but now I did like the reverse card.
You parried the ball? That's pretty good.
Bleh. He wanted to parry me.
I saw.
Can't parry jumping attacks. Look at this
Can
dude.
bury your booty.
Nice.
Nice, good job. That's teamwork.
That does so much damage to him.
Ow, he hit me with his book.
Why is Pumpkin Man up there?
Bumping.
I hope he drops his head. Or his helmet, I'd rather say.
The pumpkin.
You guys go up the elevator?
No,
Oh,
we
We
went
found
up
the
the
Elden Ring.
left.
Yeah, we went to the pumpkin
It
head.
was
on the
inside my
side.
pants all along.
Also, we
Oh.
stopped the stone spawning. I can't speak.
I'm gonna open this door.
Oh my god, he dropped the smell mat. No, he didn't.
Sad. Maybe for danger.
I need the helmet.
Okay, we can go do elevator.
Elevator, see you later.
Alright, I
Alligator.
teleported.
I kind of want a new weapon. Which one would be good?
Like, the
The
main
great
one or
EP.
the staff one? Cool.
I was thinking of the gravity katana, but I don't know.
Gravitas. Gratias.
Prego.
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 Pregante. Preggers. Poggers.
Cerveza grande, por favor.
Por favor.
Yes.
Mikasa, Sukasa.
Mikasa.
Mikasa.
Yes. The weep shit.
Did he just break instantly?
Break her shield like you break her mind.
Got him.
Oh my god, feet.
I'm gonna
Yosaki did it again.
He
Break
did
your
it
shield, not her
again.
heart.
Oh, we could've won
Miyazaki
that.
did it again.
blast!
Then he started blasting. Ow, who threw that book at me?
Is she already dropping again? No.
I don't see it cracking one more.
Oh yeah,
Oh.
These stupid books. Is she breaking? She's breaking. She's breaking.
a little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we
It
need
should
to
be.
do like more because we're more people, if I remember correctly.
What? That's cheating. Stop saying.
Oh
She's
no.
breaking.
Yeah, yeah,
She's
broke.
breaking bad.
I can fix
Alright.
it.
I love Breaking Bad.
Nice.
Let's
Nice of
go.
you.
The easiest possible.
But
This is so hard. What you mean? I'm
I
the
hope
black
it,
screen.
it doesn't have a second phase. I can't.
I was also crouching.
I didn't want to crouch, I wanted to run.
Yeah, same.
Oh my god, it's the moon.
Oh no, she's gonna blast us.
Who's she gonna target?
Oh, it's
Yes.
on me.
She's spinning. I know that move. That was the slowest.
Ow. I need to heal.
Stop dodging.
Come on, get frostbitten.
Ow.
She's cheating.
Oh no.
She's
oh,
summoning.
No, there's Daryl. Oh, Daryl. Get her, I distract.
Yeah, we.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning.
Summer.
Are you ready for Dark Souls 2 in?
Yeah, Dark
too.
Souls 2.
You've been waiting for you to wake up.
We love Dark Souls 2. And now we get a new talisman slot if we go back to round 3.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Oh my god, the full moon
Nice.
queen. Great rune unborn.
You're barely awake. Did you
That's
get some good
perfect.
rest?
That's all you need for Dark Souls.
What do you
Yeah,
mean? I
Dark Souls
woke up
will
at, like,
lead you.
but those guys I woke up at 6:15. What do you mean? You still EP?
Eepin.
You have to be awake for the gaming, you know?
What do you mean
Text the
all the
beer.
stores are closed at 3 a.m.? How could they?
What do you mean? What if I want a taco at 3 a.m.?
I thought you
Jimmy?
lived.
I'm okay.
I thought you live in the land of the free, Ginger.
It's in the
Yeah.
land of the. We're not open at
None
3.
of the birds. It's free unless it's 3 a.m. You know, it's free unless it's 3 a.m. Haha.
I see.
I see.
Did you drink? I will drink.
I need 2,000. Where's my rune set?
I need the turtle thing.
You mean the
You know.
Pope?
No, I mean like the castle things with the bells because I want to clone Renala's bullshit.
Ah,
Because I want her staff and her magic.
when are we doing spooping? 1 p.m. And who is playing with us? Bess and Amina.
Wait,
Amina
what do you
should
guys
be able
play?
to make it. Escape together back rooms.
Escape.
Yeah. Escapo. Escapo.
I love Escape.
Escapado. El
I mean,
Capo.
guys, you could like also get like Godric's little dragon hand.
Where?
Why don't you use
Huh?
that?
What hands are we
Like,
using?
Evie, you're doing a dragon build, right? Use Godric's dragon. That had the weapon. The best weapon in the game.
Is it?
Yeah, it's so good. They definitely didn't buff it in Night Rain.
Mm-hmm. So it's still
That looks
awake.
funny.
Talisman pouch?
Oh
Where
my
did we
god, I
get
got a
that?
pouch.
Yeah, because I talked with the lady at the round table.
You can talk?
Ah.
To that lady.
Yeah.
What did you say? What did she say?
Why is she
I
floating?
said like, yo, girl, I killed like 2 rune guys. And she like, epic, and gave me that thing.
Did you get the
Nice.
spell or the staff?
Both. I cloned her Miranda
What?
so I can
That's
get both.
cheating.
And I think I also get the tiny dragon because of the drip. I like how
What?
it looks.
Red dance?
Red
There's
dance.
these are not even emotes. Hamster dance? You're just
Look.
typing something and then just dance. Next
Looks so
next
good.
next
I
thing
don't
is
even
going to
have
be
those
cock
emotes.
dance.
You see how good that looks, Evie? Don't you want that as well?
No.
But
You don't want the crafted dragon?
you can dual wield it even.
Yeah.
So good.
No.
Rupture. Bow, bow, bow.
I need 60 in to wield that bullshit. I need so much.
Best dance?
Yeah.
I'm sure these are real.
Hmm.
That's how they appear to me.
The red hooded ladies here.
Okay, we could do the tree over there.
Over where?
We could maybe sell some stuff here. How about that?
Nah, boring.
Selling? Don't do that.
Yeah, Selen.
What?
Could do the right side of the lake. We could the tree. We could do Ronnie's bullshit up there. We could do more of the Altus Plateau. We could do Radan.
I'm good for whatever. Y'all just pick.
Yeah, I think we finish up lake and then we go maybe Radan.
Alright.
Let's start with that bullshit.
Where are we TPing to?
We didn't even go to like America's tits. We have to do that still.
Dude.
Number 2?
Yeah. Yeah, number 2.
Oh yeah,
That's
we
where
do.
like that's where the lizard woman is. You know, with the
Yeah.
hunchback with the gamer posture.
Yep, yep.
Oh.
I know that one.
And there's also the crab guy, you know, the pawn, like
Mr. Krabs?
America's tits.
The prawn.
The guy that says America's tits.
The
Best
prawn man.
stinky. Best very stinky.
Best stinky. Yeah, but that's what we like about him.
Do we?
The gamer stinks.
Like he's still alive too? What the hell?
He smells like cheese. Like a good. You guys know the cheese Limburger?
Mm-hmm.
No.
It's a very smelly cheese. I imagine bear smells like that, but in a good way. I like that smell.
Do you?
I'm in the permanent loading screen. No, the
What?
prawn.
Where is she? No. Oh, she's here.
Wait. Let me level up first.
Yeah, she always despawns because you sit down.
Yeah, I know. Make
Got
that
pranked.
bit
That's how I smell. I can confirm how, yeah. And Baz know what Limburger is. I'm proud of you. Such a good cheese. But it's like 40% fat and it's like really high calorie. Little protein.
Nice.
just like
Not that
me,
good.
I'm
I
also
mean, it
high
has-
calorie.
It has like okay protein. It's like cheese after all. But
Mhm.
like, you know, the other cheese have like more protein.
True.
Like feta cheese. Feta cheese is amazing.
True.
Yeah, I can't talk with the lizard girl.
Lamau.
Can you?
She's yapping.
Okay, good.
Not
That's
even in the game anymore.
What?
No, I can't talk to her.
I left a while ago.
Oh, wait, I can. Oh, Ginger.
Why did
Dog.
you leave?
I wasn't an infinite loading screen. I waited for like 2 minutes.
Why
I
do I
didn't
only
leave
get a
on
loading screen?
purpose.
What happened?
Please
No,
stop
that's- I
asking
just
me
had an
questions.
infinite loading
We
screen.
could do anything about it.
I just what?
What?
I
Huh?
just spawned in nowhere.
No
It
Man's
was like
Dwarf?
a legendary item.
The
and
best
I
place in-
fell to my death.
No Man's Dwarf.
Why did I get a random teleported to death?
Get pranked?
What happened?
I
Where am
got
I?
a loading screen, and then when it loaded finished, then I just spawned somewhere, fell to my death, and where I spawned was like a legendary item.
What?
What?
Did I lose my legendary stuff?
I don't know. What happened?
No, I still have my stuff. That's so weird. Why did that happen? It was either because Ginger left or because
Wasn't me.
Evie talked with the girl.
That was the other guy. I want his hat.
Which one?
What the fuck is they even talking?
Which hat, Ginger?
The one we're standing in front of. The cone hat.
Where the fuck did I even die? Where am I?
Wait, are we killing him?
No. I just.
Just pranking him. Got it.
It was a misinput. It was a misinput.
Can I like see my runes on the big map? Do you guys know that? You know where I died?
Oh, we haven't spawned yet. I don't think we can see it.
Oh yeah, guys, I'm not in your goal.
You're
Oh, am
asking
I?
us or not? You are here.
No, I am here.
We can't see it. It's your dead body.
But you,
True.
Yeah, but like, why are
How
you
can-
even here? Like, what are you doing there?
What?
Oh no, I get teleported there.
Like, why are you here? What are you guys doing?
I don't know.
I got
I
teleported.
came back into the game and I was here.
Yeah, like I see on the compass my lost souls, but they're like in nowhere.
Nowhere?
I don't know where they are. Like because I spawned somewhere and fell to my death. They're like gone forever, I think.
Bam, 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 bam.
I mean, it's your birthday was yesterday, right? Wasn't it?
No, it's today as well. Hey, why'd you die again?
Brother.
Oh, Nito died.
What
Because
happened?
there's a bunch of lobsters
Lop.
and they spit at me, you know.
Oh,
Hawktua.
not Larry.
Hawk Tour. The lobsters were like Hawk Tour, spit on that thing, and then I died.
Unlucky.
He netted us once.
Do we have to talk to the lady?
We already talked to
Middle
the
lady.
The finger
We did that.
lady lady?
Just trying to reach the hut that I pinged over there, but I die all the time. Randomly.
Gaming
She's
posture.
talking
Thank,
about her necklace.
Red Bits.
Yeah.
Have you
gonna
seen
get it
my
now.
necklace?
Wow, and please no farting. Thank you. Please no farting.
Do we have to get it separately or just one person?
I think we have to get it like each time, you know. All of us have to get it.
There's also
Well.
2 death birds in this area, guys.
Yeah, but it's not night.
Naito.
Night or time.
Nice right?
Naito.
Hey, there's a bonfire here. The prawn man.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's like the America Tits guy.
The prawn man.
America's Tits.
It's not even here.
Yeah, because
Oh.
we sat on the bonfire.
Crap.
I'm stuck.
Give me the necklace.
I need the necklace.
No, I don't have money.
How much? How much? How much is it?
Lemao.
$1,000.
What?
1,000 buckaroos.
You don't have 1,000?
No, I
Can we
died,
kill
remember?
him? I want the balls.
No, don't sit down.
I need to talk
I
to
want the
him.
balls.
Wait, we haven't even gotten the necklace yet.
I got it now.
Hold on, let me get a prawn. All right.
No,
want the
I'm
balls.
poor. I need money for the prawn.
I got a prawn. I got a prawn. I'm ready.
How do you not have 1k?
I died, remember?
You don't. You only need 600 for the prawn.
Why do you need the prawn?
Because
Prawn's
then
the
he's,
best item in the
telling me
game.
yeah, he's telling me like I'm a
And I get an emo.
guy. Yeah, I get an
He's
emo.
telling you about what?
He's telling you you're like a cool guy if you buy a prawn, and then
It's
you're
like
like,
you're the prawn guy now.
yeah.
Does he?
Yeah, you need to buy the prawn.
Yeah, and if
But
you
he
did that,
didn't say anything.
Did you
but
talk
if
to him
if you-
again?
like if you talk to him again, he says America's tits.
Does he?
Wait, what does he say? America's tits. But why? Yeah,
You
he
must
does.
be-
America's tits, you must be.
I
hungry.
realized.
That's why he's America's tits guy. Guys, you
He's
don't
the
know
prawn
anything.
guy for me.
The prawn guy.
Wait, do I have to emote it now
The
as well, or
prawn
just
guy.
did I
Yeah,
get
the
scammed?
prawn.
You should, right?
No, I got scammed.
Yeah,
Can we
only I
kill
got the
him
emo.
now for the iron balls.
I'm ready.
I think I need a... No, we're not killing him.
Whoa!
No, guys!
Get pranked.
Voila!
Whoa!
Hiya!
Oh, I'm killing him.
Bye.
Hiya!
I'm gonna get him.
Hiya!
You gotta look out, look out.
No, Andrew
Did you-
broke it. I didn't get the emote.
What do you mean? I didn't do anything. You said back down. You broke it.
No. But he's this prawn guy. He's lopped us, you know? Don't kill him.
Oh,
He's chill.
7 damage.
Big bugger.
Oh, he's
let's
he's
go.
fighting you.
Guys, you idiots!
That wasn't me.
Can't even
Oh.
target him.
What if I sit down?
I mean, we can just like. I mean, do you want to kill him or do we just like?
Yeah, I want Iron Balls.
I don't even see him anymore. He's, like,
I'm
invisible.
sorry. I'm sorry.
He do so much damage.
He's
invisible,
healing. We
I
can
don't see
only
him.
we can do that.
I don't see him. Where the fuck is he?
Is sipping.
He's dead. It's about to kill you. Wait, what?
I'm dead.
How did you take damage?
Nice.
Oh, at least I got his eye.
No, prawn man.
Let's go, Iron Balls.
I'm gonna remember him.
I will
Yeah.
not.
What?
This guy.
Oh yeah, I have like a talisman slot. I could like equip one.
Oh, true.
Probably get the dog talisman.
Jumping attacks.
What just died? I got 1,000 souls.
That was me. I died.
Yeah.
No.
He has like a severe case of ligma.
What is a severe case?
Ligma balls.
Damn.
He
God,
got
good.
me.
Where the fuck are my souls? They're like a bunch of lopters.
Lopter.
They're ignoring us.
Okay, good. Where do we? Let's go to.
I thought we were
tree.
getting their necklace back.
Tree.
Oh, we didn't do that. Yeah, true, we didn't.
We can't get to the prawn guy.
What
And
do you
just,
get? What do you get for the quest?
we get to go to
If you reach
Volcano
Altus-
Manor.
Yeah, when you reach Altus Plateau, you can immediately go to Volcano Manor, and then you get like access to early map, and you can do like the quest of Volcano Manor, all the cool stuff, you know. You get
Where
the
we go?
poison katana.
Damn, a laser beam.
No, he's better.
Bro,
than
he's not even in my screen anymore.
He
I
shot
know.
all of you at the same.
He's
Oh,
a sniper. Did you
He's
hit
a sniper monkey. You snipe your lobster.
sniper?
yeah,
Sniper
he's a
lobster.
simp sniper monkey. And then the music, the tactical music.
Oh,
Break
goodbye.
it
He just
on
went
it.
down there.
No, I can't talk.
I
to
can't
her.
talk. Can you talk to her?
No, I can talk to her.
We need to sit down
What?
somewhere.
No.
I mean, there's a.
She's still talking because some of us jumped on her. No,
Aha.
stop, baby.
I'll get her.
What do you mean, don't give it?
We have to give her the
Okay.
nexus. That's why we killed the prawn guy.
But it says like, don't talk with her. It's just like, don't give it. That's the only option I can choose. Even though I
What do you
have it.
mean, don't give it?
Really?
Can you guys give it to her?
I can't talk to her.
even talk. I need to reset.
You need to warp and maybe come back because we got
Yeah,
attacked
but
by the
I've-
crab.
The warp.
Yeah, now you broke her from me. I can't talk with her anymore.
It's okay. You can
But
talk.
isn't there like a fucking? There should be patches somewhere here with a bonfire.
Give it to me.
Patches.
Emmon's the necklace.
Yeah, over here. There's patches in the bonfire.
Where?
Here where I am. Right next
Guys,
to
I
Rory.
don't. I want to talk to her first.
No, I'm gonna.
I can
sit
talk
down.
to her. No,
Oh, no.
I give it to her.
Did you give her the necklace?
Yes.
Hello,
I
patches.
got
Oh, we got the
paid.
invitation.
I also got it. Oh,
Crab!
ah,
What the hell?
that's a tentacle.
Mr. Krabs, what are you doing?
Why does the tentacle?
I might actually
Why not
hit him on
the
accident.
7, 8, 10 or something like that.
Ha ha ha.
Um,
Because 7, 8, 10.
what? Someone getting eaten?
Be careful, there's patches as well. Don't kill him.
Did you kill Patches?
No,
He's dead.
no, I think he just fell down. Isn't
I
he?
got his
No.
bell bearing.
What?
Yeah.
No, he's dear. He's
I
dear.
know, I'm just
yeah.
kidding. Get pranked, get pranked.
I still can't talk with him because the guy's sitting down
Ah,
now.
let's-
Oh,
Now we should reset him.
he got gold pickled full.
But-
thingy I will buy.
There we go, now I can talk. Give me the pickles.
Oh yeah, it's Margaret Shackle. I like that.
Wait, it's got the parrying dagger.
What if you use What if you use 3 times the Margaret Shackle? Does it only work twice?
I don't know.
I don't have enough money
Buy
to
it.
buy it. Hold on.
Then pop some souls.
Yeah, I'm popping. Alright, I got the shackles.
The shackles.
She is for that.
No, the lizard girl's gone.
So where are we going next?
The tree.
There's the crab man coming. I'm sitting back down.
It's not a crab. There's nothing that resembles a crab.
Go close enough. Which tree we going to?
Crap.
Like the one that's big and that are pinged and that's on the map, the golden one.
Well, I keep trying to pull out my thing. I keep sitting down.
You just look at the compass.
Have a coffee, gip.
All the coffee places are closed where I'm at.
Just make your own coffee. Like, why do you
I don't have a
need an
coffee
expensive
maker.
coffee?
I don't
Yeah,
have a
just
coffee
let
maker.
just grow your own coffee seeds.
Yeah,
Wait,
just
you're
buy
right.
a shitty one, like, you know, from, I don't know. They're not that expensive if you buy a shitty coffee maker.
I only drink the coffee from McDonald's, guys.
I mean, I don't
Obviously, if you
I don't
want,
usually
like,
drink coffee. That's why I don't
Obviously,
have
if you
one.
want, like, a filter, I don't know, what's it called? Like, the super expensive espresso machines?
The filter?
Yeah, like, it's in German, it's like Siebträger machine.
Oh, I know
like
that one.
Yeah, I told you.
Yeah.
It's like the super expensive ones that make espresso.
That's pretty good.
Espresso, yeah. I also like to espresso
I
people.
mean, I don't usually drink coffee. I drink it like when I need
Espresso,
to.
depresso.
Oh, yeah, whatever. We can do it later. It's fine. We need to go back to like Toph and give him the,
Deck
to
the
go
other key, you
back.
know? Remember?
Delictus medallion.
No, you know what I mean, right?
What?
Guys, we need
Huh?
to go back.
I'm on
later we need to go-
autopilot. I'm just walking.
Yeah, I know. Because of the ball.
Yeah, we're going where you're going.
Oh,
we just
later
follow.
we need to go
Yeah.
to the bald person and give him the key to the academy. Remember?
What? Yeah, that one.
Why?
Because then you get the radiation emote and you can open up this, like, you know,
Oh.
and your head is glowing and you can open up the bullshit, which you don't need for this one because you can just like use your brain and go outside.
What?
Yeah, you can skip the whole riddle because you can walk up here and like jump up here.
That's
That's so dumb.
cheating.
I think there's like a second tower somewhere where you actually have to do it, but
Yeah. I think
you
it's
can
in
skip.
the village, in the Madness village.
I have so much spell slots for the spells I can
There's a
use.
tower there.
maybe. I thought it was like in the hidden snowfield, but I could be wrong.
Snowfield Valley from Nightmare.
I'm really thinking about Labyrinth of Refrain again. Play them. Now you have time, but 1 PM you will be busy. We'll meet Adam again. Adam? I don't even, I barely know Adam.
Adam.
Sandler?
I love Adam Sandler.
Be the best.
He's such a good actor.
The best.
Yeah.
He's already
Oh,
like
he
low
died.
HP. What just happened?
I don't know.
I mean, that's good.
I was
My
sipping
slash
my
killed him for
glass.
like all the damage. We did it.
Yay.
I have to get up and shower first. Go take a shower, Stinky.
Taking a shower.
Our M also smells like Limburger.
Stinky Shoot the balloons, guys. That's like 10k free runes.
Come on, give me your spear. Please. Sad.
Oh my god, I got a spear.
What?
Oh my god, spear.
Whoa.
I got a spear. Twice.
I got another
even.
one. Whoa.
Wow.
Oh,
Can we get 3? Oh, there's another one.
Oh, I didn't even see that.
Wait, he's
guy.
poisoning,
Got
what?
something.
oh
Yeah, he's
I'm
like
poisoned. I'm
smelling.
stinky now. I'm stinky. Come
Nice.
here, guys.
No.
Sniff.
Run.
Sniffer.
Go
Sniffer.
away. You're
Guys, where you
smelling
going?
The birthday
Over
stink.
here.
Oh, Bellbear and Hunter?
No, there's like the guy in, you know, in the other castle is gonna spawn here.
There's a shack.
Yeah.
There's a thing here.
Yeah, but he does usually he spawns there. He continues quest, but we're not far ahead yet.
Oh.
We can do the Everjail over there though.
Does someone have the key?
He doesn't
Yeah, I got
fucking
like 15.
remember.
Nice. I have the
Maybe.
relic with the key.
Are you still stinky?
No.
On my
I
screen, you
use
still.
soap.
On my screen, you still on.
I'm still stinky. I never used soap.
Nice. All right.
Why do you guys have the stupid helmet?
What do you
What are you
mean
talking
stupid?
about?
We're honoring his death.
Oh my god, it's the Everjail boss.
You're not even using his balls.
He
Because
just
I need
got
to
the balls for
upgrade
those. No, you don't.
I do.
Watch out, he's gonna throw a pot, guys. Yeah, he's gonna
Aha.
be dead.
Got him.
Oh, nice. I missed my slash. And I missed it again.
Let's reach this
And now he's
speed.
gonna step on me.
Nice.
Oh my god, the best spell in the game.
Hey yo. I got glint blade blades.
Wow, wow.
Ninja Betray in the first place.
Wow, wow.
Well.
Wow, wow.
What do we have here?
You're riding on nothing. You're floating.
I'm floating.
What, now you just disappeared? What?
Yeah, he's like Flow Rider, you know.
Flow rider.
I love Flow Rider. I've lived there before.
In Florida.
Yeah,
No, in Florida.
yeah. Flow Rider. It's a new state.
I thought Flow Rider was like, isn't he like a rapper or something like that?
I think so.
No, that's New York.
Yeah, that's New York. Wait, where did this guy come from? What?
He
He just
teleported.
spawned in here.
Yeah, he's like a phantom, you know. He's like,
Danny,
Danny Phantom? Oh,
yes.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there was a golf girlfriend in there.
True. Sam. I never forgot her.
never
My first
forgetting.
crush. Oh, yeah, there's
Hey,
one
where's
more I
Margaret?
forgot. Margaret.
More Marshall.
Margaret.
Marshall.
Marshall
gonna-
D. Teach.
Yeah.
Blackbeard, you know?
Yeah.
Amazing.
You love surprises. I'm really I have a surprise for you too.
Is it open for you guys as well?
What? What just happened?
Yeah, I
stick
can
like a
use
key-
it.
No.
I
stick
can
like
use
a
it.
key. Yeah, then use it. I stick like a key in there, and then it says like, yes,
Get in.
Oh my god, Chapelle.
Chapelle.
Je m'appelle.
Okay, let's get the glowing swords that he has.
Oh, I'm still
The
loading.
shield. What?
French. No French here. No French.
Who is
Buongiorno.
French?
No French here.
I
We
am
hate the French.
French.
Who is French?
Oh my god, grab the Scion.
No! Guys, I can't go through the fog gate.
Why not?
It doesn't show the prompt of entering.
Lemao.
Just go around. Go around the door.
Bruh. Like leading to the fog gate, maybe I can hit through it.
Alright, I'll get him.
Oh,
Hey, come this way.
Oh, I see your sword.
Yeah, I'm
Walking
trying to
through the
lead him
fog
this way. Oh, drinking.
Yeah, just kill him.
No, but I'm staring in my face right now.
Yeah, Evie, just kill him. You can do it.
Get him, Louis.
yeah, no
You
French.
you
Yes,
parried
Silas.
him?
What happened?
Yeah, I parried him.
Yeah, I
I'm
saw
a
that.
parry god.
Yeah, he's playing Executioner. Please don't walk away. There we go.
Does it open now?
Buried him to death.
Open sesame.
Yeah, I can enter. Hello, guys. You miss me?
You did it.
Yeah. Where
Now
we
we
going?
get the whole.
I'm gonna
the
cut the
whole
bridge.
tower.
Oh,
This is not Dark Souls 3.
Sadly. And do you know what's even more sad?
Dark Souls 2.
No, that this
No.
isn't Dark Souls.
yeah, that's what I'm sad about. I have the seamless
It's so
ready and
sad
everything.
that this is not Dark Souls 2.
Yeah, imagine we could. Like,
Who the fuck is Dark Souls 2?
imagine we could go to Shrine of Amana.
I know, that's
That
like
was
that'd be
so
like the
good.
best. Caught on stream, it'd be too good.
Never done before.
Yeah. When you get there, we're gonna get raided by like
Unreleased
2,000 people.
content. Unreleased content. Hold on, we so I'm gonna go this thing. Okay, see you later. Have a good shower.
Distinct time.
Then I make the Endo Gotcha. Okay, make me some too.
There you go, gym. After lunch. That's gonna be fun.
Nice. What just
You can
happened?
join EV if you want.
Oh, we going this way?
Evie, you can join if you want, you know?
To join what?
My gym exercises, you know?
Nah, I heard they're pretty bad.
Well,
No, it's like pool day for me, so it's like a lot of fun.
Oh my god, no Kron.
what?
Knock on these nuts. God.
Wait,
I
you already
got him.
teleport?
Yeah.
I didn't get to teleport.
Ah, my favorite enemy, I can parry him. Yes.
I'm still over here.
What do you mean? Just touch the gate thingy.
It doesn't let me.
Can I parry him? Can I parry
Yeah,
his
I mean,
nuts?
for me it wasn't active, but I could interact with it. Then
Do I
you
have a
just teleport.
shield?
Oh my god,
get
it's
Ender?
nighttime.
Does it
I
work?
don't have a
Are you here?
shield.
Yeah.
Right
Where are
here.
you guys?
Down here. Oh yeah, he's here. Okay, good.
I can't parry him.
I
don't have
died.
a parry tool.
I have a parry tool. Let me do it.
No, I wanna do it.
I
No,
want
I'm
to do
the
it.
parry god.
I
No,
got the
I wanna
iron
do it.
ball.
Oh, look at
The
me. I'm the
iron
captain.
ball.
I'm
No,
the captain.
look at me. I'm the captain now.
Oh my god, Ghost
Look
Glowers.
at me.
Oh, there's a guy.
Look at me. Look at me.
Yeah,
I'm
I
the
love
captain
it.
now.
I'm gonna make him
Favorite
jump
enemy
off
to
the
parry.
map.
No, no. Wait, did I cut it?
Lemao.
Yeah, but he didn't even hit me.
I'm charging up my attack. Never mind.
Okay, I just parry. You guys hit.
Oh, that's the wrong button.
Oh,
No.
Damn! I was about to buff.
Oh yeah, you can buff. Why did you never do that?
I was trying to, but he
Let's
kept knocking me
go.
down.
Andrew, you
and I
have
have
to
to
hit
walk all the way
Just
back.
parry.
there. I will reset.
Why didn't you parry his step?
because you can't exactly.
Not if you don't try hard enough. Wait, Eewee's floating up there. In the skybox.
Floating.
Oh, he's doing the
Floating.
breath.
I'm a floater.
Oh. What is that?
He's like spitting
He's
fire.
cheating.
He's spitting on that thing.
Never seen it
And
before.
you're the thing.
Yeah, he got a big, like, sack from like a frog.
Damn.
And he-
Yeah, frog, of course.
Yeah, he did the big inhale thingy with the frog.
No, he has like a scrotum, you know. Is that how you say it in English? You know, where your balls are?
On his face?
Yeah, exactly, like Peter Griffin.
What?
Oh my god, you did it.
We did it!
Yeah,
I
now we
did
can
it.
teleport back.
What do we get anything?
Yeah, because there's like on the edge over there, there's like a talisman that nobody needs.
Oh, I
But
didn't grab it.
You didn't even drop anything.
Yeah, we only
Yeah.
got 3,000 souls.
You just get the
Wow.
talisman and just start fighting him.
Wait, it resists immunity and focus.
Yeah, I told you, it's trash.
That's so good.
That's pretty good. It's like the ST item.
Yeah.
SST actually.
What was the last one again? Do you guys remember?
I don't remember anything.
Is it not the floating?
Flow Rider? I knew it.
Oh yeah,
The
it's like
floating
the
city?
yeah,
Not the city. The...
Paramasula. You're right.
Yeah, that thing.
Masula? Majula?
Yeah,
Masula.
that's like kind of
Avatar.
spoiler because that's off the fire giant.
Spoilers.
Don't
Yeah.
worry about it. Just don't look down. Just don't look down. Always
Look
look up.
at the Ginger. Would be amazed.
Whoa.
Are you amazed yet?
I am the mace.
You're not even here. Where are you?
I'm right next to you.
But I don't see you. You're
It's the
invisible.
maze.
What, you don't see me? Oh my god, spoilers. Wait, where are you guys?
Meow.
We're jumping.
Without me?
But
Yeah.
careful, there's like strong guys down there.
I can finally use the cat ring.
It's like the many men, you know?
Many men.
They whoop our floor when
Oh,
they're red.
oh.
Remember?
I remember.
Do
Oh, it's
you
just these guys.
remember
Yeah, I told you.
September.
I
You already
remember
killed the other
September.
guy.
There's another guy.
I'm like yeeted him off.
Very good.
This guy got like 1 billion health.
Yeah, because it's like an endgame enemy. Kinda.
No, it's not. No, it's not. I keep hitting the stupid wall.
Oh, come on, dude.
Bam.
Nice. Good job, guys. And yeah, there should be like on a floating island another stupid talisman, I think, if I remember correctly. Like the
Here?
one that protects you from spells.
This thing.
Wait, am I stupid? Where
It's
is it?
this. We found it.
Oh yeah, Gendra found it. Where the
Yeah,
hell
I
is
found it.
Ginger found it.
Oh,
Yep.
there it is. Okay.
How do we get back up?
Yeah, you don't
We
teleport
don't.
away.
We
again.
teleport.
Are we done in this area?
Yep.
Oh, we just got that thing? Okay.
So let's maybe do this
Roads
side,
and Manor. Yeah,
or
up
we
here.
do Rani's bullshit.
I'm good with
I mean,
whatever.
he already teleported to Rani, so let's do Rani.
I wanna do EG.
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 I need a new weapon.
Smithing stone. I need 4 smithing stone 2.
4 smithing stone 2.
Good. I mean, there's like a really good weapon art over there. Maybe we should get that one. Could be good.
Left side.
Right side of the castle. There's like an invisible dung beetle in the lake, and I think he
Oh, that
drops.
one.
I think he drops frost stomp. You know.
That's
Oh
goaded
my
in.
god,
Night
welcome in,
Rain.
In
Raiders.
general, golden. It's like always good.
You're getting,
Raiders.
you're getting ratted.
Necro. Welcome in Raiders.
I'm dying.
Hello, dying.
I mean, actually,
From
it was
one
yesterday.
birthday
From
to the
one
next.
birthday to
Thank you so
another.
much for the raid. How was
I
your
mean,
stream?
your birthday was yesterday, wasn't it? Evie?
Yeah, both their birthdays
Yeah,
were yesterday.
Necros was 1 day earlier.
Oh,
6th, I think.
Oh no, I got the same time.
Where the hell is it? Oh, there.
Oh, I was like, why can't I
That,
sleep?
yes.
Is that a thing?
Yeah, let's do it.
How was your
oh,
stream? What were you guys doing? You were playing
You're playing a lot of games.
Special
How did it
Events.
go?
Nice. My favorite game.
Guys, do you see it? I think it's a bug for me.
Where are you?
Yeah, it
Oh, there
is
it
a bug. Yeah, it is a bug. It's supposed to be a bug.
Go to sleep, Necro. It's 4 a.m.
AOD, Ace in the Renner, welcome in.
He's the scene
I can't hit him.
in ulti.
Lemao.
Who are you fighting? I don't see anybody.
Yeah, like the invisible beetle thing. There it is. I hit him.
I got him, guys. I hit him.
I got him.
Yeah, of course. Thank you.
Yeah.
Or frost stomp. That's really good.
That's not
Go.
bad.
That's where we're going again. Yeah, again, freeze clicker.
I just need a weapon to put it on.
Just use that one.
Which one?
You know,
No, I don't.
the
Good one.
X of Godfrey.
Oh.
You can-
Are we going in here? Anybody got any fire?
Nope.
Perfect.
No, there's so many hands.
Boy, he's raising his middle finger.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck you.
I've been hit. I've been paralyzed. I love that song.
Wah!
Ow.
Fire weapon would be nice.
Yeah, if only somebody has a fire. Ah, what the hell?
Only.
Do I not even have a bow? I thought I had a bow.
I mean, you have a crossbow.
No, I do have a long bow. Alright, I'll fire them.
Yeah, just ignore those guys. Just run.
We're not ignoring. We're fighting.
Yeah, I ignore.
We're killing everything, yeah.
Yeah, imagine all the souls we're gonna get from these little
Yeah.
guys.
That's how you farm, Nido. That's how you become strong.
You're
That's
like
how we
5
become
souls
the
per
Elden Lords. I need these 5 souls. Where'd that one come from?
Okay, cool.
Bang, 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 bang. Arc Raiders.
Arc Raiders.
Yeah, 3 of my friends
Yes.
just got on Arc Raiders.
Those poor souls. Why would they play Arc Raiders if they could also play Dark Souls 2?
You're right. I'll
Oh,
message them
Hans.
about this.
Messaging them apart.
DMing them on Steam right now.
Guys, did you hear Dark Souls 2 is also playable?
It's
You
on
guys
sale
know you
actually
guys
right
can
now.
just co-op Dark Souls 2 instead of Arc Raiders.
Did you know?
Oh, this
Yes,
guy
Zaki
spawned in
told me
front.
in my sleep.
Cat, welcome in. How am I up? That's a great question. How are you up? What do you mean? Why am I up? Why are you up? I slept for like 2 hours. I missed my
Yeah,
1
he's up
hour
because
mark.
he's up because we forced him.
Yeah, Miyazaki woke me up and told me
We were
Elden Ring.
gaming.
Yeah, he missed our gaming date. Then Miyazaki showed up and slapped him in the face.
Yeah, he woke me up.
And
Oh.
screamed at him in Japanese.
And this dragon, thank
Lemon.
you for the follow. It's cheese to meet you. Wait, where'd you teleport to? I have been left behind.
Yes.
Imagine being left behind
Left behind
in
again?
2025.
It's a great game.
Left behind. That's a game.
Yeah. It's like Left 4 Dead, except you get left behind. You know?
Is it like Dark Souls 2?
It's actually a continuation of Dark Souls 2 after you finished
I'm going the wrong way.
the...
Yeah, I jumped
Shrine of
down
Amana.
here because I love Shrine of Amana.
Yeah.
I jumped down here because I completely forgot what's down here. I think that here's like the Rumi or what's it called?
About that, the That's not bad.
I don't know where
You know,
y'all
the whip sword.
Oh,
like,
there you are.
before you enter the elevator, you can jump down on the
Cat, are you going to bed soon?
right side.
Isn't it like 2 a.m.?
Yo, Bon.
Bon, how are you doing?
I'm going Bon. Yes, get some rest.
You saw like you ran past it.
I mean, y'all were. Are you talking to me?
No, Bingus.
Oh.
If you want to jump
I
down.
don't want it. I don't want it.
Okay, that's fine.
If
Yeah, it
that's
is
only
4
the
a.m.
only-
But I woke up at 1:48 a.m. So it cancels out.
I mean, there's also like a virgin. I don't know why she's here up here.
Do we need to get
Fine, then we
sucked
go
into her?
down.
No, don't. It's just a virgin and a Samba smithing plus 3.
I don't need 3.
I need that.
We can just buy it from the dude.
Yeah, don't do it. Just do the Everjail, the Grace. I mean.
Yeah, I am in Europe now. You didn't know?
Yeah. Ginger changed.
Sorry
Ginger went
for
to
you guys,
Germany so that he
Yeah,
can play with
I live
us.
in Germany now.
Yeah, we're doing a LAN party like right next
Mhm.
to.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like
then we're
right
about
now,
to.
I will poke Ginger and he will squeak like a mouse, right? Like right now.
Sorry, I was muted.
Oh, well.
Yeah, my bad.
There you have
But I
it,
did squeak.
But it is true, you have to believe
I
it.
squeak, but yeah,
It was a silent one.
Yeah.
we'll edit it in later. I'll squeak again. Why are we sneaking?
Because they're wolves. They're dangerous. Now you alerted them. Now they're angry.
We can just run away.
Yeah, just run.
Here, use your alluring skull.
Just touch them.
You gotta learn.
Skull.
Just throw it over there.
Never played
No.
Assassin's Creed. No, didn't
Imagine falling.
Yeah, my stamina went out like right that moment, so I did like a tiny jump.
Lambo.
Oh,
I
this
know.
guy's swinging it. Nothing.
Rookie mistake.
The swinger.
Oh, magic grease. Ow. Hello. Am I supposed to go down there?
Yes.
What's down there?
Giant. El Gigante, you know?
Oh, that's
From
right.
Resident Evil, loved it. It's a good.
I mean, he's dropping a
Both
sword, if
sides.
I remember correctly. That's a fun sword.
Wow.
It's the
that did
cheap
like nothing.
version of the Dark Moon.
Dark Moon Greatsword? From Dark Souls 2?
No, this is the Ultra that he drops.
Oh, the
Has
Moonlight
nothing to do with
Greatsword. Moonlight Greatsword.
Like great sword. Ow.
They're beating me up.
Elden Beat.
Where's Gender?
Dude.
Why did he keep me?
El Gigantos.
I was checking my inventory.
Wow. I'm like dying here.
Just don't do that.
I'm struggling so much, you know?
It's okay.
Please, Ginger, help me.
Oh, I'll pass.
Lamar.
The Troll Knight Greatsword, that's the best weapon in the game.
I told you.
Oh my god.
But nobody
I
would
want-
listen.
And you wanted to
want
skip
to
that? I
akimbo
can't
it.
believe you. Good morning, LT. How'd y'all games go?
Good
What
morning.
a job.
You have been up all night too. Alright, you going to bed?
Okay, let's kill the
It's
boss.
bedtime.
The boss.
So thank you again for stopping by. Have a good night.
Hello, Loretta.
Good night, Ulti.
Good night.
Nice to
This
see
fake one.
Rio. No, it's real.
Bam. She looks like a ghost. What?
Yeah, but you can't bleed her.
I'm useless. It's over.
But you can't frostbite her.
I can't believe this. We can stagger though. I do a lot of arc bleed damage. What the hell? Tree strat.
And just throw stones at her, that always works.
She's hiding in the bushes. I can't see what she's gonna do. That's a lot of swords.
Oh no.
I mean, I just love how she just lets me keep slashing.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's about to die. He's stuck here. He just kept ignoring me. Loretta Slash.
Hell yeah.
That's so good.
That's amazing.
I mean, it looks really epic, but it's not that good actually. So.
Unless.
Unless.
Now imagine that if you would put it on your PP to Loretta Slash. That would look fancy.
Oh, wait, it's here.
That's dangerous. Don't do that. You could kill someone if you do that.
Alright, let's get the dragon.
Yeah. I mean, that's the point.
No, I missed. Oh, chilling mist.
Chilling
that's
Mist.
So good.
Yeah,
Oh
I
my
can
god,
use.
chilling mist. Being
Can
chilling.
put that on my. I'm just.
Being chilling.
I'm not gonna use my. What's it called? My
Hello,
power.
Dragon. Adula.
Oh my god, Glintstone.
Yeah, like a nerd dragon.
Oh! Blue! Thank you so much for the raid. Welcome in, raiders. Oh, look, guys. Oh, wait, no, we should shoot at the time. Welcome in. We shall welcome in Iron,
Oh,
Aaron Foxinator. What were you streaming?
oh.
Blue
Welcome,
Wicon
everybody.
rated
My
your
name is
channel
JJ
with
Wells.
25
Go by
viewers.
Jen or Genjo,
Right, Jelly?
and I play a lot of variety games and Souls-like games.
Okay,
Maybe
go
I'm
on.
That
currently
is-
celebrating my friend's
oh my
birthday.
god, look
He's
at
doing
the
a 24
cheeseburger.
ounce.
That's not a cheeseburger. That's
His name is
a
Newbie.
heart
Ah,
attack.
yes, bingo.
Oh my god.
Welcome in,
Nice.
Shoshki19.
Why the bun is so
Oh,
black,
how was your
man?
Overwatch? How did your Overwatch go?
No.
Did y'all win? And yes, if you guys need to
Only
go to
making
bed,
jelly.
please go ahead and do so. And thank you so much for the raid, Blue.
Only person is cooking properly is Jelly over here.
Jelly!
That's an American
That's why, how
burger.
you doing?
Oh my god.
We got to
oh
sleep
my
on a
god.
win. Yes, yes. Yeah, we should play Overwatch 2 sometime. I've been recently playing it again. But I know our time zones are different. But yes. Everybody, if y'all need to go to rest, please go ahead and do so. Thank you for the raid, Blue. Have a good night. I'm guessing y'all were just doing like quick play.
What do you mean?
Of course. We're doing good. I had like a 2-hour sleep and I was late to this Elden Ring. Seamless.
It
Just
seems
quick play,
so.
nice. I don't think I played rank in a while. Yeah, it is too stressful, so I understand.
Where's the danger?
I'm coming up. We killed the dragon.
Yes. Dragon these nuts.
Bruh.
Got him.
Don't do it.
Lamar.
Oh my god,
Lamar.
it's
Yes,
I can't speak to her.
Same, but she's beautiful.
I don't have binoculars. Oh. Oh. Oops.
Okay, we can't talk to her anymore.
Okay. Where do we go?
We have to go down and talk with all the phantom guys,
Oh yeah.
and then
You got rest?
then talk
Yes.
with her again.
Thank you again for the raid, Blue. Get some rest. Good night.
Careful, the elevator.
Meow.
I mean, you usually don't even die if you drop from all the way up the top from that elevator.
Yeah, true. Although Ishi, Jin, whatever its name. Yeah, I can't talk with him. He just do all that.
I mean, we can sit down and maybe reset it. That's fine, actually. You talk to him.
Yeah. I think he has to talk with every single one of them and then go back to Rani, and then we can teleport away again.
Mm.
Perfect.
And like exhaust the full dialogue. That's also important.
Oh my god, it's that guy.
Yeah,
The
Blight.
fairy.
What? Now, how much time do you have
Alaska,
left,
who nobody
Nito?
likes.
What do you mean? He's my favorite character.
What?
After, of course, my precious.
Precious.
You know who the Precious is in Elden Ring.
Yeah, the Shrine of Amana.
No, the loathsome dung eater. He eats dung.
That's the next place we gotta go to.
I've heard the gold mask.
Who? Oh, he's
The
ass.
gold mask.
He just
Golden
has all the
mask.
drip in the game. And what is drip? But I think you have to do his quest and to get it, and that's so annoying. I think that's like the Gold Mask quest is like the one that I only did once time I gamed this game.
Never did that one.
It's kind of annoying.
All right.
Yeah, I can't talk with her.
I can't either. Perfect.
Should be everything.
Nice.
Are we ready?
We still can't teleport.
Yeah, I can't either.
Wait, what?
Did you exhaust all the dialects of all?
Oh, yeah, I can
the other
teleport. I can
I
teleport.
did.
guys? Okay, I can't. Then I have
Where are
to
we
start.
teleporting to?
I'm dead.
What?
I kind of want to go to Sylvia's, or what's his name, and then drop down to the guy that summons the arrows when we approach the castle.
Huh?
I'm gonna show you guys. Just stay there.
What?
Or, like, just continue. Like, come with me.
Okay.
Where the hell did I die? Where are my runes?
Oh.
Oh, there it is.
Where's my food?
You guys coming? Where's Bingless?
Where are you?
We're still downstairs in the tower.
Hello?
We're not leaving.
Where am I?
You guys are floating.
Yeah,
My
because there's the other
foogies are dead. It was working, but now it's not. Where do we find
I
some?
want to turn into a fairy, you know.
Nice.
I channel the inner fairy in me, you know.
Nita, how much time you have left?
Like another hour.
Alright. This is 4:20. Goodbye. No.
Aha, getting blocked.
Cock blocked.
What the? There we go.
No, I'm him.
You were him?
Wolverine.
Yo.
I know.
Wait, where do you get it?
But
What?
the budge should be bigger.
Oh.
I thought it would be bigger.
Yeah, I don't have the right pants yet.
Which pants do you need?
The noble or aristocrat pants, something like that. It's basically
Just the regular
shoes.
or the noble one?
I don't know what's it called exactly. It's just shoes and then underwear. It's like no pants actually.
What?
Yeah, but it makes your bulge bigger.
Mm.
Zaki did it again.
Did it again.
Or the Mad Lad.
Just too much W's.
Always
doing?
winning.
Somebody should stop him.
Yeah.
He's going too far.
Oh shoot.
He's taking all the W's for himself. We are just left with all the L's.
Old Fang. Hello.
Haha.
What's he saying?
Yeah, give me your loot.
I can't talk to him.
Gonna buy the lawful tier. That's maybe good later. You wanna respec?
I can't talk to him.
What? Just talk with him.
I can't.
Should I reload the area for you?
No, it's fine. I can get in my own world.
We could activate Godric's rune. We didn't do that yet.
Yeah, let's get
Sure.
at the rune.
Yeah. A little bit more
Limgrave
stats is always
Tower.
good.
Where's that at? Where's that tower at?
At the bridge.
The bridge?
The Great Bridge.
The Great Bridge. Multiplayer movement limits. Where's everybody?
I'm just running. Like the wind, you know?
What up?
Stuck.
Voltrek
Step
Talisman.
bro.
I got barricade
Wow.
shield. About to say, there's a bonfire over there. I could have just waited.
Nah, we're gonna skip the bonfire. We don't
Yeah.
reward laziness.
I mean, I thank you for shouting out blue again.
He missed.
I will be playing Roblox again. I
playing
do that
Roblox
play
again?
every time. Oh no, don't sleep, don't sleep. Oh no, I'm getting tired.
Did
No,
you
no,
fix
no,
your laptop computer issue?
No, don't get tired. I still need to play more games.
I mean, I fixed.
But
What?
Nice, I fixed that.
I'm getting
I think I
teleported
just
again.
lost my. Oh, that,
I swear
that's,
to God if I die
that
again.
is not good.
Always doing teleporter bullshit.
Not me.
What happened?
I get like randomly teleported again. I don't know where I got to yet.
Wait, where are you?
Yeah, okay.
Lamar, he left.
Yeah, it just did like the same because you used the teleport. It kinda got used for me as well.
Dang.
I was like
You
teleported back.
left us.
I know.
Do you have a backup of it, Amina? There you go.
Sad.
What?
Did it wrong.
What do you mean it's gone?
Who's gone?
Amina's the backup for the OBS profile. How did
It's
it gone?
No.
How did
is
this
so
happen?
sad.
Miyazaki did it again. Taking
Again.
The madman. The
Damn
mad
it.
lad.
No, he did it for us.
I took it, Lamar.
Miyazaki, no. He took the W and is giving us L's. I can't believe this.
And now we're done.
Yeah.
No. The right side of the lake we still have to do with turtle pope and stuff.
Right side of Radon, got it.
Yeah, and then we do left side.
Alright, it's time to
Dude,
finally use a
teleporting.
rune arc.
Can't you like activate it with like,
Bam!
with like an item here as well? Like rune decancer, converts rune into temporary power.
What?
Does this work? Oh, I can pay like runes to get a rune arc. Yeah, that's stupid.
Do you use OneDrive, Amina? I recommend using it.
Wait, what's happening?
Miyazaki's getting us.
He's confusing me. He did it again.
Is your laptop supposed to be using 2 GPU? And that depends if your laptop has a GPU on its CPU.
Yeah, what Genjo said about PPs.
Yeah,
I mean,
Intel
for like
is the same, yeah.
for like computer question, you can always ask Genjo because he has like a fucking server room as a computer.
Yeah.
True. He
Please
has that
don't be
access to
infinite loading.
servers.
Hello, welcome back. I thought you were going to bed.
Genjo keeps Dark Souls 2 alive.
He's
he's like he's like
I am.
player number.
Low. Oh, you're eating food before bed. What?
That's the only
agree.
way how to do it.
How old would you?
All right, I have to reset the game. Miyazaki did it again.
He did it again.
Oh, it's only 8:30. Oh wait, yeah, that's good then. Yeah, what you eating? And welcome to the back room, guys.
Genjo has left.
Yeah,
By
I
the
had
way,
to close the
Andrew,
game.
what did you thought of my pizza that I sent you?
I was jealous, so I also bought a pizza.
Yeah, makes sense.
Wow, you didn't send me
same.
pizza.
Yeah, 8 hours.
Because you didn't ask, Ginger asked.
Yeah, I got mailed, express delivery.
Wait, I'm gonna send it to you as well.
Fish mailed.
It looked like a frozen pizza, but it looked delicious.
Did you get the
Oh.
fish mailed?
Yes, I did.
Where is Ginger?
Nice.
I don't know. When are we, Amina and Blue, gonna play Overwatch 2?
Today.
When are we playing?
They just finished.
Top-
Overwatch 2
No,
into Dark Souls
today.
2.
Today too.
We're playing today later?
Miyazaki did
Oh.
it again.
Right after Nito finishes working out, we're going to Shrine of Mana. I knew it.
Miyazaki did it again.
He
bad
did it
lad.
again. Flutter
Yeah,
and
I
TP a
can't send you
soldier.
a picture.
Exactly.
Nitro, like, the Discord is cringe.
Ah.
I
Ginger,
am
the-
I have Tuesday off, Amina, if you want to do Dark Souls 3. I've been speedrunning it. I played like 3 playthroughs already since we played.
Hey, yo, Dark Souls 3. I love that game.
Yeah, I love that
Dark
game.
Souls was
I'm
so
actually
good.
playing it to after this with a friend.
I'm actually like, I only
Speedrun.
played a little bit though.
What do you mean? That's my fault.
I think like in Steam I have. Wait, let me check.
I love Dark Souls 3. I made like 3 other playthroughs. I still have our playthrough.
I have like 1,575 hours in Dark Souls 3. So
I
I played
have-
a little bit.
I have like more than that, I think. I think I have over
beat the
2,000.
tutorial.
Yeah,
I'm
it's,
so small
biggest.
compared to you.
what?
I've
Can
only
you
like
make it
800.
nighttime? Can you make it nighttime? Can you make it nighttime?
No.
We're playing Night Rain? Alright, playing Night Rain, guys.
Miyazaki
did
He
did
did
it
it
again.
again. Chicken has problems. Jen also. I do have problems. Like, I can't sleep. That's why I'm up right now.
Chimkin has problems.
But this would be good if I could stay up the rest of the day. Because then I can reset
You
my
want the
schedule.
Night Rider on the other side?
Wait, what did I do? Why do I have
The
problems?
Night Rider.
I don't.
Yeah. Night
Gotcha.
Rider.
You have problems with Amina.
Oh,
Oh my god, the
I
bonky
mean,
bonk.
I mean,
You're
who-
getting bonked. Wait, do you not have your rune arc
Oh.
activated, Evie?
I do.
no, he doesn't.
No, I can
Oh,
tell
not the
because you don't
rune
have the
arc.
ring around you.
I thought you meant the Great Rune.
Oh wait, we just lost all his health. What?
Yeah.
You gotta be
Just
awake for
balancing.
Tuesday. I mean, I'll be awake. I'm doing a stream on Monday night, and then I'll just sleep
him.
normally afterwards.
Miyazaki did it again.
He did it again. Ow.
Does he
Melatonin.
drop?
I may go to the doctor to get a melatonin because I haven't sleeping. Ice Spear. That's the best spear in the game.
No.
It's an Ash of War. Oh my god, look at this
I saw the
guy.
yummy melatonin and she doesn't even share.
She doesn't share or
But how he
Yeah.
moves that?
What is
I
this?
mean, I did produce it well until I got migraines and I couldn't sleep. And then I
What-
became
what-
EU
what-
time zone.
I'm not nowhere. What's melatonin? What is that?
That's your body's production of sleep. You can take
Sleep.
like pills to
that's
help
a
you
great
produce more,
EP.
so you eat more.
You just close your
I know
eyes.
lasagna has
Mm.
melatonin.
Does it actually?
Well, every time I eat it, I sleep. It's just because of the lasagna. It's fine.
Beast eye
The beast eye
quivers.
quivers. I give you an Iwi. How
The
do you?
Beast.
How would you? 24.
Mr. Beast.
Wait, is this a boss?
Yeah, it's like the skeleton guy.
Oh, for me, it looked like the regular enemy. He spawned so far. There's no water here. This guy's cheating.
Guys,
He's boating on
he
land.
did it again.
He did it again. Where'd he go?
Like all the way back there.
This guy's such a stoler.
This is why
Yeah.
we have horses. Because this guy teleports across the map.
This is why we
Peak
can't have
gaming.
nice things.
Like that wouldn't happen if we play Dark Souls 2, you know?
Yeah, he wouldn't
Yeah,
teleport
because we
like
would not even
across the
start
map.
Dark Souls 2.
You would only you would only spend time in Shrine of Amana.
Exactly. It's the best part of the game. With the best boss. I mean, just unbeatable. Deadwood. Are we going to that tree? That's like across the mountain, so never mind. There's an endgame boss? It's
thank
not
you.
taking damage.
The book.
Oh, we got the book.
Oh, secure.
Oh, time for Bellbearing.
No, sadly not.
Wait, is that the painting from Dark Souls 3?
Yes.
To get to the painted world.
Give me the dark soul of yours.
Your dark soul.
The painted world of Miyazaki.
So the
That
pink
that would
of
be
my
that'd be the next area for Night Rain.
I tell you, like what's his face again?
What?
Gale. Gale is such a good boss.
Yeah.
He's so peak.
Yes. We need another Gale.
Yeah, they never like they couldn't reproduce it.
Yeah.
It was 2 peak. You can make Dark Souls
Yeah.
4.
Like the
It's
best.
like what do I
best
do after
boss
this?
in-
They needed to
That's-
end with Dark Souls 3. They couldn't think of a better boss than Gale.
Yeah, for
I
real,
know,
Like, which,
I mean-
which boss comes even close in Elden Ring? That's like Gale worthy.
I mean, after for Dark Souls 3, you're starting it. It should be
Yeah,
just like
it's-
Shrine of Amana. I think that's the best start.
Yeah, true. That's pretty good.
And then for the tutorial boss, you fight the boss for that area. There's actually 2 of them. in there.
I mean, I can give you, I can give you another thing that's really good about Dark Souls 2. Genja, do you remember in the DLC the run to Blue Smelter?
Yeah, of course. I love that.
That's peak.
Yeah, my friend loved dying whenever I was waiting for him at the boss. It's 2 peak.
Is it that bad?
No, what are you talking about? We're saying how good it is.
Blue Smelter is so bad. I mean,
How
the
long
boss
do
is
you
Yeah.
run the-
it's not about how long, it's more about what kind of bullshit they throw at you.
Just peak map design and enemy design placement.
And don't forget the like most classical thing ever, like the ice desert with like the reindeer things
Yep.
on the way
Absolutely.
to the
Oh,
double
that
boss
one.
fight.
Go
Yeah,
to
that's famous. Not everybody
To
knows.
the dog level boss fight with the invisible dogs. And then with the invisible reindeers.
Not
with the
bad
visible
invisible. But yeah.
I mean, after
it's
Dark
like
Souls 2, it was that game was 2 peaks, so I had to make 3 the easiest game.
Yes.
The dog.
Got the dog in him. Look, it's a dog.
No, I can
That's a
talk.
big dog.
Oh, I get dog.
I can talk to him. Give me all the
Just be a
spells.
dog.
Give me that.
Could
Alright,
just
I
be
got
a
all his
dog.
spells.
No, I can't.
He's talking a lot. I'm gonna study sorcery.
I'm gonna sit down.
I'm gonna get a blessing of the boon.
I'm gonna sit down.
I'm gonna give him all my scrolls. Here you go, buddy.
Are you finished?
Yeah.
Gentle.
He's still talking while invisible. I can still talk to him. He's still talking. He's not even here in front of me.
Yeah, I can talk.
Perfect.
Yes, let's go.
Yo, I can get the lightning spear.
Pretty epic.
Electrified ornament. Black flame. Black flame build. I'm out of money.
I can't give him my sorcery books. He doesn't want them.
Okay, did you check? Maybe
Same.
it's just I already gave him. You already have the spells available.
Could be. I don't know.
Just check your Yeah, you guys already have it.
works like that.
All right, perfect.
Yeah, it works.
I'll be right back. I'm gonna get water downstairs.
Yep. See ya.
That's why he's the goat. I will be right back.
Yep.
All right, while he's gone, let's go to his computer and start up Dark Souls 2.
Yeah, I already have it installed for him.
We're ready.
Memorize spells, maybe. What's a good spell?
I can't even use that yet. We can get the Golden Scarab now.
Yeah, we could.
We got the Flame Cleanse. Where's that again? In
Yeah, we could,
Caelid,
I
right?
said. Yeah.
We're in Caelid. What's it? Which
Where the
bonfire?
fuck do I need to go? I'm gonna tell you in a second. I just wanna do something real quick.
Yeah, no worries.
Good. Should be this one. Smoldering Wall. You listening, Danger?
Hmm?
You listening?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm
very
here.
good. Yeah. Should be down here somewhere. Yeah, it's over there. Oh, I didn't equip it. That would be smart.
Hmm.
Did you equip it?
What?
Like the flame cleanse me.
Yeah. I mean, we have so much memory slot.
Yeah, but I didn't equip it. That's the thing.
Oh. Nice.
And I need
It's one
like
of these
a
branches, right?
seal. Where is it? There, very good. Welcome back, Evie.
Meow meow.
Wait, there's a grace in here.
Yeah.
You could have just put it in here.
Where you guys went?
We're going to the
Going
abandoned
quickly,
cave.
the golden scarab.
Okay! Welcome in, raiders.
Yeah, like this how I found the dead one.
Welcome in, NK. How you doing?
Abandoned
Nikaji
cave.
rated
Thank you
your
so much
channel
for
with
the
14
raid.
viewers.
It has been so long.
Okay, look.
What were you streaming? But welcome in, everybody. My name is JanJoel19. I go by Jan or Janjo,
Thanks for
and I
that,
play a lot of variety games and Souls-like games, and we're celebrating
Oh, the abandoned cave.
Iwi's birthday. Playing Elden Ring. We did it again.
You should
Ooh,
equip
Blue
like,
Protocol.
the flame cleanse me so you don't get
Ooh.
rotted all the time.
You promoed. What?
The
What'd
what?
you get?
flame cleanse me, the miracle, so I don't get rotted.
But also, if you need to rest after your stream, feel
I don't
free to do
think I have
so.
that.
We're probably playing like for
We
another
picked it up in
hour
the lake.
we?
before
Apparently you missed it,
EV
yeah.
has to change games.
If you don't have
Oh no,
it.
wait, I do have it.
Yeah, it was in the flame camp.
My bad.
What do you think of Blue Protocol? I've seen everybody playing it, but I have yet to start it. And did you get to rank up in Valorant?
No.
What is that screen?
Dangerous. I nearly
Yeah,
died.
doobie. Oh my god, it's the
Reload it
Dark
quickly.
Souls, the Dark Souls 3 slow roll. Miyazaki did it again.
We did it again. It's like a poison rot swamp. We did it again.
Perfect. That's like in Dark Souls 2 in that the poison cave. He did it again. Wait, I'm still getting rotted.
Oh yeah, that poison cave. Yeah.
Yeah, and with the fire ladies that are
Oh.
it's fun. Incrementing well because of big material.
Oh,
need for much
Serpent
room.
Bolt, that's really good.
That's no worries.
Yeah.
I mean, I hope.
Especially if you're.
that's the best
if
one.
you're
In Night
Iron
Rain.
Eye.
Yeah.
Oh, what rank are you now? I last time I played like 2 years ago. I was like gold. Whenever I get invited to play. Yes, happy birthday, Iwi! What are you doing?
Okay, thank you.
What are you doing here? I didn't bring us the healing spell. Okay.
Yeah, just wear the talisman that slow heals you.
Oh, you're right.
Doing that.
Oh, I do already have it.
It's like nothing. Oh, so many gingers.
Genjos.
I am everywhere.
Very dangerous.
Also on my Lee account, so gold 1 now. I think I'll tune my main ballot. Oh, nice.
Miranda.
That's still pretty high.
Ow! 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 Ow!
Okay, I don't think they can be rotted if they're in a rotted cave. That makes sense, right?
Yeah, but they're like poison. Yeah, it's like different.
That did so much damage.
I'm taking care of the mage boys.
Yep. What's happening? Oh,
Okay, got them. Nice.
but yes, if you need to get some rest, NKE, please go ahead and do so. I know it's like 5 p.m.
Poison fang. Pure
Get
poison
some
fangs, guys.
I mean, I don't think you'd be eating at 5 p.m.
Guys, don't ignore me.
What is it?
There's like poison fangs over here.
Oh yeah, poison fangs. How do we get up there? Oh. Guys, poison fangs up here.
Yeah.
It's good against poison boss.
Wow.
It's good against the
like
boss
cool
with
weapon.
in the Shrine of Amana.
That's like deadly poison.
Yeah.
Okay, are you ready?
Yeah. Shrine of
Yeah.
Amana boss, we're ready.
It's gonna be the hardest boss ever.
It's gonna be so hard, I'm just gonna watch you. Whoa!
It's only one.
No, it's like 2, but the other one spawned later.
That did nothing. Okay, I'm just gonna use this.
See, there he is.
Skedaddling here though, I gotta get some rest, Danger Fish, yes. And thank you again for the raid. Please go get some rest before
Some good E.
your fish.
Nice.
Oh.
Oh, huge bleed damage. Why is he just standing there? He's just
Ow,
holding
ow.
block. Bam. This one's dead.
He vomited on me.
My friends.
Nice.
Get pranked. Have a better delicious guess. Iwi's gonna show us his cake later. On stream.
Hey, yo. Hey, when are you showing your purpose?
My cake.
Yeah. Finally. The best talisman in the game. And I didn't equip it in time.
Miyazaki did it
He
again.
did it
The mad.
again.
The madman striked again.
He's just too good. Now I need the
Yeah, let's
The
just
clothes that
Radahn.
give me extra runes.
That's not a thing in the Elden Ring, is it?
Nope, it's only in the best game though. So we gotta play it.
Dark Souls 2.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Wait, where's that one at? Where are we teleporting to?
To the Dragon Communion thing. And let's
Oh.
kill Radahn before I have to go.
Sounds good.
Hold up. Wait, where the fuck is it?
I teleported the wrong one.
Yeah, let me, no, let me
And we
think.
could just walk there now.
Yeah, but I kind of want a new weapon, and I was thinking of maybe getting that before.
Oh.
But which weapon? I kind of want the katana. It's like in the Lake of Rod, but for that we need to kill Radahn anyway. Yeah, let's just kill Radahn. Could get the gravity katana, but it's not really worth it.
Oh, I didn't even got the golden seed here.
Yeah, same. And Moonwell is boring.
Need to restart my game.
Let's go.
Nice.
He did it again. He's unstoppable tonight.
That's the only way how he can balance Genjo.
Yeah, he kept doing this in Nito too.
I think he's like, yeah, but happening more to you because like he had to wake you up. He's quite angry.
True.
You're right. Oh,
Doesn't that just teleport you on the other side?
No, it teleports you inside the castle next
Oh,
to Radahn.
inside. Yeah, I know now. Oh yeah.
this one teleports you in Radahn.
Yes, inside Radahn.
Inside of Radahn. You become one with him. Oh, no boss fight anymore.
Yeah, that's only when the festival is not active. You can fight him before you activate the festival or afterwards.
You can
come back
also
and
do it
fight him.
afterwards.
You can do it afterwards. But not
Really?
when, you can't do it when it's like festival time.
The best of
Yeah, that's the best time.
I was so confused the first time I've been here because it was fucking playing Halo music. Evie, you have to talk.
I thought you already talked to him now.
I can't, like I'm not the host.
God.
talking time. What?
Cutscene time. Skip cutscene time.
But I want to watch it.
You skipped it.
No, never saw it before.
Now I don't
You know
know
what
the
would be a
lore.
really good weapon for our run?
What?
The Eclipse Hotel.
Hello?
What?
You don't hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, yeah.
I disconnected.
I'm getting teleported again.
Did Iwi die?
Yeah, Evie died. The stream also died.
No!
Oh, my internet.
Miyazaki did it again.
My internet.
He turned off his stream.
He felt like, you're skipping my cutscene? Hell no.
I worked 3 hours on this cutscene.
He multiplied.
He turned off his internet.
Oh no, you
Well,
don't.
No, Rebecca.
I'm all the way
You're all the way
here.
at the academy.
Yep. Miyazaki and his shenanigans.
Can you open up your world?
I don't know, can I? I did it again.
Iwi did it again. No sessions found.
What?
Yeah, no sessions found.
Evie is like not good at it.
It's not found.
I just opened it.
You can close it.
Maybe you have to close to go to like the menu.
You have to use the white ball. Did you use the white ball?
I will use it now. Leave party. No.
He's doing the ultimate rank against us. When we're about to do Radon.
Oh,
What happened?
dead. No, no.
Now it's
That
open?
should be open. Yeah.
Yes. Maybe.
I am joining maybe?
Maybe.
It should be.
It doesn't show like an error, but it's also not joining.
Yeah, I don't see a thing that says I'm joining.
Yeah, same.
Maybe you have to go back to the main menu of the game.
Yeah. I
'Cause you
quickly
did, like-
teleported.
Disconnected.
Yeah, let me do that.
It's almost 5.
Yeah, we have like 20 minutes. till Ramadan.
Luca got
Mhm.
first. I have to close it again.
It's not
I'm
opening?
going to the first Luca. No, I leave it and now I open it again. Wait. Open, now it should be open. So Luca, why you still up? Go sleep. Go to bed.
I don't see anything that tells me to join.
I mean, I also went to the main menu. Maybe now it works.
Yeah, you try it and let me know.
Maybe it's our fault, you know.
No, it's never my fault. I
No, it
woke up
doesn't
because
work.
it was suddenly quiet. Oh, is
Alright,
it because
let's
I
restart the whole
stream?
game. We can't
Yeah,
join.
let's restart.
Yeah. Let's all of us.
We
restart
did it
the
again. Making us all
Miyazaki.
restart. Fatal error.
game.
Also got that.
I didn't.
He did it again.
Wow.
He's crashed our game.
Now our save file is corrupted.
Yeah, we don't have any games. Gotta restart
Did it
again.
again.
First listening.
Wait, you're listening on us? That's quite creepy.
Is it?
Hey, yo.
Yeah. Where is this Luca?
Yeah, now I feel ashamed that we were talking about Cox earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're talking about Miyazaki for like the whole stream.
Miyazaki,
Did it again.
He did it again.
Look at him.
You hear that every
He did
10
it
minutes.
again. He did it again. Then suddenly quiet. Wait, why do I not hear them talking about Miyazaki anymore?
You don't hear Miyazaki, we're dead.
Okay, open the world.
Alright. Joining.
Thank you for the look, Abba.
Yeah, it's joining
There
now,
we
it
go,
works.
perfect.
Nice.
I think we just had that
Miyazaki
error.
fixed it.
He fixed it again. Oh my god, guys, Iwi is starting his 24-hour stream right now.
Oh my god, let's go.
I guess you have to
Only-
restart.
Only
Miyazaki.
23 hours and 55 minutes left.
Yep.
No Miyazaki med lille concern.
No Miyazaki. We're not alive anymore, guys. Check in. Wait, do we have to watch the whole thing again?
We're so lucky to be born at the same time as Miyazaki.
Exactly.
Bro.
Instead of
he
being
is lucky
pirates,
that he's
we're-
born at the same time as we.
That's true.
We're his biggest fans.
You have to talk with him again.
A
or-
festival.
Again.
Watch the cutscene this time.
The
It's not
cutscene
a
again.
curse.
Oh,
no!
no.
It's gonna crash again.
As a
Now
fucking
he's
mouse
gonna
playing
crash
beautiful
all of our
man.
PCs now.
Goat. Welcome back, Goat. Goach.
Oh wait, we also lost your chat.
No! I activated the elevators. Oh, God.
Limo!
No, I'm coming.
Jump down.
I made it, guys. I couldn't swap to my carrying while falling. I learned.
He did it
You
again.
did it again.
Get up and fast of sleep. Oh,
Yo,
get more
2.5
sleep,
game.
Goat. That's
You're
not
not
enough.
spawning, do you, Gendra?
What?
Are you spawning? Oh, you don't.
Yeah, I'm right here. I'm just
he's a
gonna
spawner. He's a
I'll get my
spawner.
runes later. It's fine.
You lost your, you know,
Yep.
Godric rune.
Where's my rune
Not
art?
a great room.
Okay, I'm going in.
Tomorrow
Okay.
for real.
I'll just watch you guys from over here.
Oh,
Oh, Radon.
oh,
What's happening?
why am I here? Oh, there we go.
Yeah, I can see you
Lamar
guys.
shooting
Where
at
is he?
you.
He's
What
shooting
are you
at
guys
me.
fighting over there?
There's the buttons. He's going to shotgun you. What? Why did you get summoned?
Because I like,
And
died.
I'm dead.
that's why.
He did it again.
He did it again. I can watch now. Let's go.
Oh no, he's coming. Oh lord, he's coming.
The chonka.
Man, I wish this was free nerf for Don again.
I never fought pre-nerf Radon. I'm so bad at this moveset.
I did when it first came out.
I never did. Oh my god, that's Radan's spell. You stole it from him.
Oh, he's angry at you.
No,
Wait, he's not even on his horse anymore. What?
It's
Patches.
Leonard.
Oh
No,
my
I'm
god,
saying
they
he was
patched
like
him.
away from his horse when he was attacking you.
Yeah.
They patched him with
protecting
patches.
Leonard.
What? He's cheating.
Leonard. Come on, get like frostbitten.
Oh wait, I forgot
You're
to
on a
put the
horse.
frost. I'm just horsing around.
No.
Lamau.
Oh, he's like staggered. Got him. Yeah.
He's frosted.
frostbitten.
I missed my slash. That like chunks him
Shit.
like
Happy birthday. Thank you.
No.
Vixie.
Vixie, welcome in. Hey, why are you still up?
Doing well.
It's so late for everybody. He
Why, you're
did it
still up.
again. He's at it.
Where the fuck is he?
He disappeared.
He's
He's
coming.
gone.
He's coming to attack that NPC over there.
I'm doing like the Willem Dafoe, you know, looking upwards.
Do you know that meme?
Oh, rip that guy.
Only
go
4
to
a.m.
Yeah.
No.
What do you mean? You've been up playing Rivals all night. I mean, you're probably because you're not wearing any clothes.
I tried to resummon some people. Where are they?
He's naked.
No, he did it again. I'm dead.
Lamau.
Well, we tried. All right, Nino, you got this.
No, yeah, I'm still alive, kinda. What is this?
Alexander, help!
Alexander.
He's spinning. He missed.
Come on, Okina, bleed him.
You give me that rivers of blood.
No, don't do it. No! I panic roll.
Damn it. It's okay. They're gonna kill him for us.
Lamau. Look at these plebs. Finger the leg, get some good rest.
I need a better weapon.
Yeah, it's the weapon.
Yeah.
It's the
Yeah,
weapon.
not the user.
No, never.
Maybe I need some armor and I'm basically naked.
That's what I was saying. You're like, he hits like a truck and he only hit me like 5 HP. Time to use my rune arc again.
Yes.
Oh, right.
Okay, I'm ready.
I'm
Let's
ready.
go, guys.
Let's do
Ready.
this.
Can he be rotted?
Yeah.
Even more.
Oh, what? It didn't teleport.
Yeah, same.
What?
You have to dodge, Evie, not horse. Horse is bad.
No, horse is best.
He missed.
What do you mean you got hit like 5 times?
No, 2 times.
Guys, don't go on horses. Horses are so bad for this fight.
Oh, it's so good. Look, Eevee's about to live. He's dead again.
I even dodged. What the fuck?
He died in the
Oh.
beginning again.
I
No, I
know.
lost all dragons.
But you
I
didn't
didn't
listen.
level
You
up.
wouldn't listen.
Time to restart the game, guys.
Wait, what hit me? That's the wrong button. No, let me rot you.
Patches.
He's
That
frostbitten.
was too much for him.
He just looked at that like, hell nah.
He just deleted himself.
Peaced out.
I thought he can be rotted.
Yeah, he can. I think he is.
Is he rotted?
Yeah, he's thinking. He's rotted.
Oh. I couldn't tell.
No, not Okinawa.
Oh. Shield. I got barricade shield. I'm gonna summon Patches. Finger Maiden.
Yeah. Oh no, he's flying.
There's a summon here, but there's no summon. Where's he coming
He's
from?
coming in hard.
Where?
Oh,
Oh, in front of you.
no, Alexander.
No.
Alexander, come back.
No.
Okay,
Leonel
no.
died. But he's still rotten. That's good.
Yeah, I'll rot him again when it's available.
No.
I need to.
Stop hitting like a truck.
Where are the
At
other
like 1
summons at?
HP.
Alexander, get him, distract him. He's still rotted.
No. I'm throwing skulls at him.
Well, that's all my AP.
What is he doing?
I have no idea.
No. Okay, dude. Can you like please stop targeting me?
I mean, you're the only one next to him, but he's still walking towards him.
Yeah, thank God, Blythe. A lifesaver.
What, he pranked the ground?
He pranked the ground.
Yeah, because he was gonna do like a wound up, and they just stopped. Yeah, bleed.
Come on, my skulls, get him.
He's too fast. Yo, that dive attack. I rolled. Wrong timing.
Come out of mana as well.
Alexander is
Not Okinawa.
tanking everything.
No.
I mean, the other guy, like the furry, is like really good for this fight.
Yeah.
Like tanking the most.
No,
I-
Alexander
I
is MVP.
don't have anything left. Don't have mana. I don't have.
He's about to
health.
die.
You guys do it. I run away. Bravely run away.
I'm dead!
No, not Alexander.
I got him. I got him.
Where were you when I needed you?
Nice.
What do you mean? I finished him off. Good job, guys.
Nice.
Now we get the cutscene.
Keep the
Did I even get a cutscene, or am I?
Miyazaki is like applauding us.
Yep. He's taking down our channels right now. Are we loading, or what's happening?
I'm watching a cutscene.
Me and E were in a
Oh,
loading
that's
screen.
right.
Nothing's happening.
I'm watching a cutscene. It's amazing.
There's no loading screen. We just have Elden Ring blinking on the bottom left.
Look at my screen. Oh my god.
What are you doing?
What are you doing?
Nito, that's you.
What am I doing?
What do you mean? What are we doing? Miyazaki did it again.
What was he humping?
I don't know. Where'd you go?
What the?
Oh, there you are.
I did it again.
He did it again.
Damn,
That's what you were doing during the whole
was still-
cutscene.
Yeah.
Damn, no wonder we couldn't load in.
Hey, yo, Mark, I knew AB's teabag Mariana. That was Nito.
That was Nito. We were just watching him.
Miyazaki did it again.
Joe, welcome
That
in.
was so dumb.
How are you doing?
Wait, my runes are here, but I cannot grab them because they're in the air. Oh,
I mean, I went to bed, Joe. I went to bed for like 2 hours,
I don't know.
and now I need to stay up all day. You're drunk. What you been drinking? We're doing good. Guys, Miyazaki, he did it again.
Oh, did
I can't respawn. I can't respawn. I have to close the Elden Ring. You can't even let me beat the boss and stay. Soju mixed with strawberry milk. Sounds amazing. I would drink if I wasn't on meds, but I can't.
Oh,
What, you're
Ginger is
mad?
left.
Yeah, for my migraines.
I see. Maybe you should sleep more. Maybe that helps.
I can't sleep because of my migraines. And then I get more migraines.
I think you
I'm getting a forever I can't sleep because of my migraines and because of my migraines yeah.
double circle. I don't know how to name it in English.
Yeah. I mean they gave me sedatives last week
Hey, my.
and it still didn't help. I woke up every 2 hours. It was great.
It still didn't help.
Yeah, it was awesome.
How are you? I'm okay. How are you doing?
I can't type. What? I'm not even
Okay.
typing.
That was a lot of fun.
It was.
That was
Nito twerking at the end. That was nice.
the peak. Wait, where are my runes?
Especially with the getup that I'm wearing.
Just woke up, drinking coffee, hoping to wake up. Nice.
Are you going to bed soon, Joe?
until like 8 p.m., right?
8 p.m. Yeah.
Yeah, for another 3 hours.
That's for another 9 hours.
What? Oh wait, yeah, never mind. Get pranked.
Get pranked.
Okay. What you playing next? Now that we're leaving. What did I
At 1 p.m. I will play with Baz, Amina, and M Backrooms game.
It's in, like, 2 hours?
Escape together Backrooms.
And in the
like-
meantime?
I don't know, maybe I go and eat something and watch YouTube videos for a little bit.
Yeah,
and then
rest
maybe
up.
sounds good.
Kazan.
Oh, I said, are you gonna sleep, Joe?
No sleeping.
Oh, for Joe.
Who's Joe?
The one in chat. Joe
Oh, I thought you
Mama.
wanted to like Joe Mama, yeah, exactly.
Wow.
Wait, the door closed to. Can I not go back to the elevator?
Wait, what? Why?
you have to talk with like the guy.
Yeah, does he let me in?
You have to talk with the guy and then he does the cutscene and then he lets you in.
May fate meet again, and then he doesn't let me open the door.
I mean, do you have to graze on Radon's arena?
Yeah, but
kinda
my
weird.
souls is where I died from the pit.
Oh, you cannot go down.
I can't go back down. All my money's over there.
Oh. Yeah, that's quite sad.
He did it again. I can't believe this.
Tragic even.
I didn't get any runes.
It's fine. You did it for the fun, you know.
It was
Yeah,
so
I was just there
okay.
for the fun.
The journey.
Oh, not
is
anytime
all,
soon.
You know?
I think
That's
I lost
okay.
way more because I forgot to level up. And
Thank
then I
you
died again.
for the
I
Hydra.
got like 100k at the end.
Nice.
You stole all our
Put
runes.
it
You just
all-
collected it
I
all.
put it all into int.
Inting, yeah, I do the same.
Thank you for the cheek rub. I'm gonna raid out
Yeah,
here, guys.
I gotta go.
I'm
was a
gonna
lot of
raid
fun.
out to Iwi.
Yeah, thank you for
Hopefully-
playing, guys. Thank you for joining. It was fun.
Hopefully soon again.
I got that like a few weeks ago.
Have fun with your stream.
Yep.
I'm gonna join later on again. See ya.
Let me know if you guys want to
Bye.
do something on Tuesday. I have the day off. Taco Tuesday.
I mean, Tuesday I only have time like my evening.
Yeah, so that's good for me
Okay, nice.
because I'm off all day.
Nice.
Perfect.
Yeah, so just give me like a time that you're good.
Okay. Yeah. Evie, do you have time on Tuesday?
Yep. Thank you
should have done, yeah.
guys. Good
Okay,
night,
I will be
everybody,
home at, like,
or good morning. I'll see you later, Joe. Bye bye.
5:30 my time, PM.
Mm-hmm. That's
It's
okay.
like the latest. But I'm gonna tell you guys. We can. Yeah, it's just like text each other again.
Wow. Wow, this is
Okay, I don't think I can parry that. He took me off my feet.